Hello, Cybies, and if you are new here, I am Cy Scribbles. I'm an old cartoonist lady who talks about cartoons and weird things on the internet, and I usually stream on Fridays, but since the episode was going to, interrupt my usual streaming time anyway, and this is all anyone was gonna want to talk about, I decided we're doing my episode discussion stream tonight instead of tomorrow. So, I hope you like Jax. If you like Jax, you probably like the ending. If you don't like Jax, then, well, you may not have liked it as much. Unfortunately. I actually saw the finale on the 4th already, so I knew it was coming. Half of me was wondering if they were gonna add something for the YouTube release, like add scenes or something, but no, no, that didn't happen. Oh, it's 1 a.m. in Poland. I know time zones are a bitch, aren't they? So, yeah.
At
Oh, really?
Space and Jam sent a super chat. Haven't watched the finale yet. Waiting to watch it with my partner, but I can't believe Kane was secretly a SoundCloud rapper. SMH.
Why are you here? You're gonna get spoiled.
At Mr. DeBossBaby6969 sent a super chat. No context spoiler. Mommy issues.
Yeah, it's Mommy Issues the show, I guess, so I always said I wouldn't be able to fully assess what I think about Amazing Digital Circus and its themes and its writing until I see how it ends, because I could never follow where it was going. And I was really open to episode 9 pulling off something that would recontextualize the rest of the show and make the structure make sense and, you know, make it new on a second viewing, and nope. Sorry. The ending was just kind of a wank fest, and the show's writing is just kind of weak overall. So, unfortunately, that is going to be my view on it, because I already was kind of like, okay, why do we have this setting, though? What are we doing? What is this leading to? And it was just leading to feel bad for this asshole man because his mom had confusing emotional issues after getting a divorce, and his pain is more important than hers or any other woman's pain.
At Wolf10 reading 5308 sent a super chat. Cat tax Lilith. No Lilith, stop stealing my money.
Yes, little kitten Lilith keeps sending me Josh's money. I appreciate it. Felt fan-made. Yeah, I mean, it felt kinda lazy, or it felt like it got rewritten or recut in the middle of it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
Jessel sent a super chat. Can we all at least agree that friendship always win the day, even in an American production?
Yeah, I guess so. I am going to release a video tomorrow about Amazing Digital Circus. I don't usually do pre-recorded videos, but I decided to make one because my thoughts about the finale were burning in my mind. So I am going to release a video on it tomorrow. It's going to be more fair than I'm probably going to be on this stream. I tried to rein it in a little bit and just give a general overview. And I want to show you guys a clip from it, but it won't let me open it in the browser. So now I'm going to have to do some tomfoolery here.
At Aria_Days sent a super chat. I love the ending personally, though. I wish King's plot was a separate episode 10.
Ah, no, pause. I just want to show you guys a clip, but I have to capture it now. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say in this video, too, I don't mind Kane coming back, but I really feel like the other characters should have chosen to bring him back. You know what I mean? Let me see, where's a window capture I can do real quick on this? Why isn't it not letting me capture my frickin' video program? God damn it! I just want to show off a clippy of my upcoming video thing! Alright, maybe I should just capture my fucking desktop. As I have it on full screen. Hang on a second. I'm very professional, everyone, by the way. I'm very professional. I'm a professional streamer. I've been doing this for years. I totally know what I'm doing at all times. There we go. It should be this one. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys a preview. You can't see me anymore, but I'm gonna show you guys a preview of my upcoming video tomorrow. Wait, I might need to turn on my desktop audio for you guys to even be able to hear it. Again, I'm a professional streamer. Professional.
So why is it a circus? Why is it a game? And what was with the conversation in episode 7 about Kane being able to alter their minds, and Kinger seemingly realizing that has something to do with Scratch and him being the first abstraction?
If I did anything more, trust me, it would not end well.
Scratch. The first abstraction.
Hey, hey, hey! I didn't say anything like that!
Why was that such a needle drop? Why were there so many implied mysteries about the AI? Why did Kane and Bubble indicate that leaving AI running too long would have ramifications?
Disgusting!
Why were we shown AI could become sentient? Why was Kane saying he could make his AI 57% more immersive? Why was the concept introduced that Kane couldn't tell the difference between an AI and a human mind?
But if I start losing track of who's a human and who's an NPC, who knows what could happen?
Why can they all remember details of their lives but not their names? Did Kane deliberately choose to make that happen, or is that just a side effect of the brain scans being processed? Why was Pomni's Kane-inflicted torment something from the circus and not her human life? Fuck you, that's why.
There you go. That's just a little preview of the video I'm releasing tomorrow. I have to go through and add in all the episode 9 footage. But other than that, it's pretty much done. So yeah, yeah, my biggest problem with the show was always I feel like the setting is just squandered, you know? Like, there isn't enough done with it to justify it. I mean, really, what would change if these all were characters working together in a burger joint? How would any of the conversations they have fundamentally be changed, you know?
At Miss Jasmine 305 sent a super chat. I enjoyed the finale well enough. Not terrible, not great, serviceable emo. Am confused about how Kane exactly came back though.
Yeah, like, that could have been done better. Like, so much of it could have been done better. Like, I still think episodes 1 through 8 are salvageable. Episode 9 would need a heavy fucking rewrite to work in my mind. But there are still things I can appreciate about it. And what we usually do on these episode discussion streams, I'll go through the episode bit by bit and we kind of break it down. So we're just kind of doing a preamble right now.
At Bunny in a Circle sent a super chat. Worst bunny character award goes to Jax. No one allowed to call him Bunny anymore. Rabbit or hair only.
Yeah, rabbit asshole. But, somebody say, never fall for a mystery box. Yeah, it really does feel like J.J. Abrams' mystery box writing. Like, oh, I'm just gonna throw out a tantalizing line with no idea of how to resolve it, and then just don't do that. It's kind of an amateur writing mistake, and, you know, Gooseworks is not an experienced showrunner, and that definitely comes across, and I do feel like she should have had at least another writer or a story editor working on this with her.
At CatPeasant106 sent a super chat. I think it was good, but my main issue is that it was too Jax focused. I say this as a Jax fan. I enjoyed seeing his backstory, but I wish we got that for everyone, too.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't mind the whole indulgent delving into Jax's mind shit if it wasn't the focus of the finale. It takes up most of the episode, you know?
At Sawesomeness sent a super chat, hoping for have no mouth end. Thought it was alright.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was alright when I first watched it too, but I've gotten more and more frustrated with it the more I've had to think about it.
At we_r_Kinem sent a super chat, loved the Jax movie, the TADC finale. Parts felt rushed. Wished we had an extra episode to break up some things. Jax is my fave. Damn, that ending was bittersweet for my toxic Lobo.
Yeah, and like all the things we were wondering about, like maybe you could say those weren't meant to be setups, but like if you're going to ask your audience to focus on something and to emphasize it, then you should be asking them to pay attention to a particular thing for a reason, and not just, you know, completely drop it as a plot thread.
At Rabidden sent a super chat. Also, what was the context behind Pomni describing putting on a headset in the pilot? Also Shakespearean aura plaza.
Hara mama! There we go. I'm like a Shakespearean actor. If you're new here, you can make me say things with super chats like a frickin' NPC streamer. Chat just started doing this to me for some reason. It wasn't even my decision. What were we even talking about? I was gonna say something and then I forgot. Hang on. Let me scroll up the super chats again. Oh god, there's so many. Thank you guys. I forgot what I was even gonna say, never mind.
At Miss Jasmine 305 sent a super chat, so like, did they explain how they all came to put on headsets and wound up in the circus? I saw the movie last week so I don't really remember RN.
Now, like, the headset thing is a fine enough explanation about how they got brain scanned, and I'm a Soma fan. I was on Soma Theory from the pilot, so I wasn't surprised. It was the only thing that actually made sense. But yeah, that whole thing just not being explained enough is kind of annoying. Especially when you consider, like, Gangle. She's canonically been in a hospital. How or why was her brain scanned? At least with Pomni and Zubul, it's like, okay, they like urban exploration. And Jax was a runaway who probably was in the building. And Ragatha worked in real estate. And Kinger was one of the original programmers. So that makes you can infer reasons why they would be in the building and put the headset on. But Gangle? No, there's no explicable reason. It's not even clear if CNA is still a company in business or not, either.
At Jessel sent a super chat, I think I'm only annoyed at Pomni going he never wants me happy and that is never touched anywhere else, but otherwise I enjoyed it. It helps I only started watching it this year.
I mean, that's such a weird line from her in the Mildenhall Manor episode 3, where she's like, I knew it would turn out like this, he just wants me to suffer. And it's like, what does she mean by that? Because between that and Pomni's personality being so inconsistent, I was starting to wonder if she was an AI who, like, was either birthed from the union of the red and blue AI or was deliberately sent in to help the human minds in the circus or something. But no, she kind of just isn't very well written.
At Mr. DeBossBaby6969 sent a super chat, the more I watch this Jax gif, the more I hate him.
I found the most obnoxious Jax gif I could find.
When you sent a super chat, the finale was fine, but it didn't scratch that itch I had and gave me more questions than answers. I don't like how there was a push to make me like a certain character that I had no interest in. I now collect Pomni things.
Yeah, it really, like, some people are like, oh, but Jax is supposed to be a cautionary tale, and it's like, it really doesn't come across that way in the text, though. It really feels like we are supposed to care about his man pain to the exclusion of everyone else, and we're supposed to cheer that every female character plus Zubul, like, their whole arcs in the finale all revolve around grieving Jax. You know, the guy who's done nothing but abuse them. And it's like, I know that's not what you meant to write, but there are unfortunate implications here.
At Evie Tomato Soup Full sent a super chat. I was so busy complaining in your Discord that I was late for this lol.
Welcome. Yes, we've had a spoiler thread in my Discord.
Jasmine 305 sent a super chat. Aren't the characters decades apart in age cause they wound up in the circus years apart? They all look similar in age in the end shot at the bus stop.
Yeah, I don't think they should have done the IRL stuff at all, personally. It's pure fan service for people who just wanted canonical human versions of the characters and maybe to get them all to stop fighting over which race they are. But, like, Atmacoon, who told me I was pronouncing his name wrong the entire time, over on Twitch says, I also feel like instead of bringing Kane back, it should have just been Pomni becomes the new ringmaster. That is kind of what I was expecting. Like, Pomni becomes the new ringmaster, like, whether she turned out to be an AI or not, that seemed like an obvious arc, especially since she is the protagonist. I think Goose forgot she's the protagonist. And thank you, Shark Jumping Walrus, for 5 gifted subs. If you do get hit by the gifted sub fairy today, you can go to Discord and connect your YouTube account, and it should dump you in my Discord server if you so choose to be there. We mostly shitpost. Let's see, and Atman also says, I feel like Jax should have immediately abstracted at the end of episode 6. That way the final episode could be about Pomni preventing anyone else from abstracting. That's kind of an interesting take. Moth Witch says, it feels like Goose kind of rushed episode 9 just to get it over with because the fandom hate them was becoming increasingly overwhelming and she just wanted to get it over with. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it does feel like a first draft, you know?
At GordonLemon3738 sent a super chat. I think one of the main problems with TADC was the amount of episodes they had. It made the plot go a little too fast.
Well, it didn't even have a plot till episode 7. That's part of the problem. Rose over on YouTube says, I don't think Zooble ever grieved Jax. Gangle had complex feelings. Well, maybe Zooble didn't grieve Jax, but they still helped, like, wrangle him and, like, sacrifice their own parts for him and stuff like that. So it's still kind of like everybody had to revolve around Jax in the finale. Even, like, the ever-teased Ribbit who we finally see, she just exists for Jax's story. You know? Though I do like the POV shots of, Ribbit and Kaufmo and how he kind of pushed them away. I did think that part was effective. Like, there are parts I think are effective, but, you know. So I think we'll just go through the episode bit by bit, like we usually do. And you guys can chime in with your thoughts. Yeah, there's so many different ways this could have gone. Again, I'm really just like, I was much more interested in the world building than anything else. And I still have no idea why the digital circus exists. Like, if you're gonna bring Kane back, you could have done something for, like, why did he make the circus? Why does he treat it like a game? Why does he think this is his purpose and function? Because Kigger contradicts that. Is it just bad writing? It might be, you know? Unfortunately, I just have to say, oops, the writing wasn't good. That's the only explanation for some of this stuff, you know?
At Evie Tomato Soup Full sent a super chat. Not to be so blatantly Kane's #1 fan, but I wish the shared protagonists were Pomni and him cause he was actually interesting. Unlike Jax.
I know, I like Kane a lot, and one of my early thoughts about the show was that even Kane doesn't know why they're in the game. And even he doesn't know what's going on, and he's just doing his best with what he knows from what he's programmed to do. And I think that would have been much more interesting in of itself. He is a video game AI character who has been made to run indefinitely and is trying to figure out how to handle all of these humans who are not supposed to be permanently in his game, but are. You know, that just seems like it would have been a much better use of the setup.
At Miss Jasmine305 sent a super chat. With Kinger showing the others how to manipulate stuff in the circus, I thought it was setting them all up to become equal ringmasters. I don't really like that they brought Kane back, TBH.
I mean, I don't mind that they brought Kane back because he is a fan favorite, but again, I feel like they should have chosen to get him out of the recycle bin, you know? I'm getting a few more highlighted messages on Twitch, so let's try to be fair. Reddyfish says, Jax really pissed me off. Ribbit never actually forced Jax into saying anything. He chose to and became an asshole purely out of his own shame. It was infuriating. Yeah, we're supposed to feel bad for him. I don't. Amakun says, I'm also kind of miffed that there wasn't a scene of Pomni hanging out with Gummy Goo during the rebuilding montage. Like, she's an AI too. Technically, they can be together. Nope, it was Funny Bunny. That's all you're getting is Funny Bunny, and he's a dog now, so...
At CatPeasant106 sent a super chat. Maybe it was meant to be an Evangelion thing where it is character focused rather than explaining the angels.
I mean, that works for Ava because it was all mystical and shit in the first place, but it didn't focus on the characters, it focused on a single character who hogged up all the screen time and everyone else's development. I mean, did you notice Kinger doesn't have any lines of dialogue outside of his first ones with Pomni in the episode? He doesn't have any lines after that. His purpose has been fulfilled. So let's just go through the episode. I think I'm gonna leave my music on. No, this opening bit, I think is funny. This is a point of praise I'll give. I love this opening. Where they all just look completely wrecked. And this little bit with it. We don't have to watch the whole thing. Hang on. Too far, though.
With Gingle and Zooble and Kinger too. Rag up the Jax and there's Pomni. Day after after day after day after day after day after
like this
day
bit.
after day after
That's a
day
good
after
intro.
day after day after day.
It was a little awkward in the theater, though, because they, like, they just ran episode 8 and 9 together, so it was like we're getting another, like, random opening in the middle of the movie. I feel like they maybe should have tried to piece it together like one whole movie, you know? It was kind of awkward. Zeno over on Twitch says, honestly, I still love the setting episodes, but I think the show needed more episodes to focus on the other characters more. Did I feel a lot for Jax? Yeah, but man, it did feel like there was so little left for everyone, especially Ragatha. Justice for Ragatha.
Dialan sent a super chat to sum up the ending maniac with mommy issues.
Yeah, and we're supposed to feel bad for him and focus on him.
@GordonLemon3738 sent a super chat. I feel like making Kenny, the creator of the circus, might have been a clumsy, changed plot element.
I mean, yeah, like the sequence where we see it come together like a cage is really cool, and it could work if you gave us a reason for why he created it that way. Because we have lines of him saying, making adventures is my purpose, it's my function, I just wanted to fulfill my purpose. But then Kinger says they didn't make games. So, I thought, well, maybe the blue AI was for a game, and that's why he thinks being the ringmaster making adventures is his purpose. But no, the blue AI is just a dot that he could have pulled out of himself at any time. Honestly, that's the most disappointing one for me. Like, you gave us such a compelling sequence at the beginning of episode 8. Like, truly beautiful, abstract, compelling sequence. I love that sequence a lot. But, like, and you didn't pay it off at all. That's the problem. This is your problem, Gooseworks. You made all of these setups. Maybe you didn't mean for them to be setups. But you asked your audience to pay attention to these things, these puzzle pieces, that you had no intent of ever putting together. And that's not satisfying. You know? I mean, sometimes in art the point is to not be satisfying, but I don't get that impression from this. It just feels like clumsy amateur writing. I'm sorry, I'm being a snob, but...
Full sent a super chat. Best writing in the show was the visual opening sequence of episode 8. Perfectly captured a backstory without any dialogue to ruin it.
Yeah, that's just what I was talking about, the whole backstory of the two AIs. It's such a great little abstract piece. It's like a good little short movie on its own, you know? I love that sequence so much. And there's a lot of things I do like about this show. That's why I'm just all the more frustrated with the squandered potential in it, you know? I will say, though, The Boys Season 5 was still worse. The Boys finale was much worse still. And so, there's still that. It's not the worst finale I've seen this year. Hey, Dio says I'm late, but your opinion still sucks. Thank you, Dio. Dio is here to fight me. We're gonna go over the episode bit by bit now, Dio, so you haven't actually missed much. I don't think you're gonna get a TADC comic from me. Actually, I did draw a couple for Cougar, actually, but you can find them on my Tumblr. Which, I don't have my Tumblr link in my top bar anymore. My little left side bar, the socials were kind of out of date, so I'm trying something new. I'm gonna put all sorts of little things up in there, but right now I just have subscribe, like the stream, and my merch shop. Zamakun says, I felt nothing for Jax. I mean, I'm always asking myself if I'm a bad person. Doesn't mean I try to push people away or justify my self-loathing. It's stupid and gets you nowhere. Yeah, if Jax had any sort of remorse of any kind, I would be more okay with this ending.
@Sawesomeness sent a super chat. With Eva's endings, it told us about the artist and his mental illness, his anger towards fans, and his life. Maybe Goose is doing the same?
Maybe, but, I don't like Evangelion. So, that's not gonna win me over either. Like, I guess it's kind of the same with TADC. Like, with Evangelion, I respect it. I respect its important place in animation. I respect how it shaped anime going forward. I don't like it. I just don't like it as a story. And it's the same with Digital Circus. I appreciate its existence. I appreciate what it's done for indie animation. I appreciate a lot of stuff about it, especially the creativity, the animation, the design work. All excellent. I just don't like it. You know?
At MissMimi9086 sent a super chat. I love they didn't find a way to undo abstraction.
Yeah, I kinda gotta give him that. Though if they could, I mean, there was that little scene toward the end, we'll get to it, it was almost like that really confusing cut back and forth between Kane and past Kane, and you couldn't really figure out what was going on. Oh, don't make me watch Eva again to do a why I don't like Evangelion stream. Oh, look, I've watched Eva like twice. Once subbed, once dubbed. That was enough. I haven't seen the rebuilds. I don't care. Besides, Gainax already made better versions of Evangelion. They're called Fooly Cooly and Gurren Lagann. And I will stand by that. The Stevie Wonder song didn't make sense. It was about Stevie celebrating his newborn daughter. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know if that was supposed to be funny or was supposed to be jarring and off tone on purpose. I don't know. Atman-kun says, I would add Gunbuster to the trinity of Ava, but better. I haven't seen Gunbuster, so I'll take your word for it. So, after the really cool opening, we just get the characters like, are you sure you deleted Kane? And then Jax gets really pissed off. I haven't seen Rosé-Fun either. I'm not really a big fan of mecha shows, so I do love Gurren Lagann, though. Who the fuck doesn't love Gurren Lagann?
At Miss Jasmine305 sent a super chat. I thought with the way Jax looked at Gangle while they were at the cafe in episode 8 that we were gonna get more with them. Another thing that was dropped?
Yeah, and it's like, we see some of the other characters, but it's how Jax views them, and it's like, who the fuck cares what Jax thinks about the other characters? Voice acting was phenomenal in this episode. In places. I've had a big problem with Digital Circus's voice direction, too. Because once you hear the characters doing the anime stutter, you won't unhear it. It drives me fucking crazy. Well, why do the characters need to stammer on almost every sentence? Is that supposed to sound realistic? Because it doesn't. It drives me fucking crazy. It was particularly bad in episode 8. Episode 8 is my favorite one. You know? It's bad in this episode, too. Like, I cannot take that seriously. And again, I don't blame the actors. Since they're all doing it, it has to be the voice direction, you know?
At Sawsonist sent a super chat. But Eva creator also made cool Godzilla movie.
I'm not gonna deny that Hideki Anno is talented. I just fucking don't like Eva. Alright? Alright! So we get to the characters talking about Kinger deleting Kane.
I don't know what happened, but before I could try to get him back, the floor opened up and... That's convenient.
Jax.
What? Are we all just supposed to forgive this? This guy...
I can say the same thing about you, Buckaroo Banzai. He's like, how do you forgive Kinger so easily? It's like, well, maybe because he's not a fucking cockbag to everyone around him at all times. Have you thought of that, Jax? Again, the video I have coming out tomorrow is going to be much more fair. This is going to be me venting, okay? I'm going to be spicy. But I was as fair as possible in my pre-recorded video that I'm releasing tomorrow.
I messed up in the worst possible way he could. Now, we have nothing.
Jax, please, just calm down. We're...
Anything else you want to...
Do you hear the stammering? Do you hear the stammering? It drives me crazy.
Tell us?
Jax!
What? He gets to mess up like this and everyone takes his side?
Because he's not a douchebag. He's not a douchebag like you. How is this so hard to understand, Jax? And again, I don't think Goose understands, like, how this comes across. At least I hope she doesn't. Because that has very bad implications. Zero says, just felt so aimless, use the sights. That's the best joke in the show. Just seems kinda, like, that's it? Just give us all guns and have fun? I didn't say have fun. It just seems kinda aimless, use the sights. Best joke in the show. The I went out to get cigarettes and milk for my milk and cigarette casserole is another good one. That one sneaks up on you a little bit. I'm not gonna say it can't be funny. There's definitely parts of the show that are funny. Yeah, now I've ruined it for you. Now you're gonna hear the anime stammering now. I've cursed you with my curse.
Ednoheem912 sent a super chat. Honestly, the only function the finale served for me was to give some closure so I could get this intellectual property out of my brain. And for that, it did its job wonderfully. Tear it a new one.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. You know, I don't know. I might buy a Kane toy, though. I kind of like, outside of the show, I kind of just like Kane as a character. He's just neat. You know what? I love his design. I love how they animate him. You know, again, I have to say, the animation in the show has been very good, and I think the thing is, the writing has always been the weakest part, I think. And I think a lot of the characterization came from the animators doing little bits of character acting that weren't in the script that they just decided to do. Because if you compare, like, even the storyboards to the final animation, the animators add in so many little movements and little sight gags and stuff, and it's really, like, the characterization was being mostly carried by the animators. You know, that's what I feel.
Nakulo sent a super chat. Wasn't Jax the antagonist? Thus the focus on him.
It doesn't end like he's an antagonist, though, does it? I mean, I don't feel like it. It just feels like it just feels like this whole thing feels like a pity party for Jax. It doesn't feel like, oh, a tragic villain. Now, one thing I think could have been improved is if Jax rejected Pomni at the end and then abstracted. Like, after all that, he still wouldn't take help. That would be a villain who's a cautionary tale. But no, now it's a total wank fest where they all have to cry about Jax. Like, it's like, I hate saying it's fanficky, because it's not like fanfiction can't be good. But if there's one place you're supposed to be incredibly wanky and indulgent, it's in fanfiction. And it just feels like really indulgent fanfiction. So Jax goes on has a little meltdown, and then Kinger subtly remembers that Soma theory is true.
But the files, and they were impossible.
Hang on a second.
Scratch was trying to make a brain scanner. I didn't think it actually worked. We didn't know how to work.
Now see, this annoys me. I feel like Kinger should have known this information even when he's crazy. Or maybe he goes crazy to avoid telling anybody these things, because, like, he knows they would all have an existential meltdown if they found out they were all just brain scans and there's no escaping the computer world. Now, again, I'm a huge fan of Soma. Soma's one of my favorite games ever, so from the beginning, I was like, oh, they must be brain scans. There's just no way. That's the only thing that makes sense. So, me and a bunch of other people guessed it immediately from the pilot, which is fine! You know, that's fine. I feel like more time should have been spent on this. I feel like this should be more Kinger, like, because Kinger always had kind of a sinister air to him. Like he was hiding something, and then it just doesn't go anywhere. So I feel like if this was more him meekly confessing that he knew all along that they're just brain scans, but didn't want to, like, traumatize any of them, I think that would have been stronger. You know? Yeah, they take that info a little too easily. We should have had more time with them accepting it and accepting the ramifications of that. I don't even mind Ragatha saying, like, she kind of knew deep down all along, or she kind of suspected it deep down all along. I think that's fine. But, like, yeah, more should have been spent on this, or it should have been revealed earlier. Maybe even in episode 8, you know? Rose Akira says, I mean, we saw the brain scan files on the computer in episode 8. Also, I think Kane's ability to alter minds made Kinger crazy in the light. I mean, that never comes up again, though. It's like, oh, you can control our minds, Kane! And it's like, ooh, and Scratch, the first abstraction. So you put those two ideas together, and it's like, ooh, Kane messing with their minds maybe makes people abstract, and then that doesn't go anywhere. It's just another setup that was completely dropped. Again, you can't just throw out lines like that and ask your audience to pay attention to these things and then not do anything with it. That's just not good writing. It's not satisfying. Like, what was even the point of having that be a plot point if you're not gonna do anything with it? You know, I mean, there's leaving things up to inference, and then there's not answering them at all. You know, it's not even really left up to inference. And I like a lot of things where things are implied and inferred, and you kind of just have to figure it out. Like, I mean, Steven Universe does it a lot. I'm a fan of Hoseki no Kuni, and boy, does that do that a lot. I reread that manga, and I'm like, I realize things belatedly that I didn't pick up on the first time, and it's like, oh, you know? So I don't mind when things are up to inference, but I don't think there was enough there to even infer anything. It was just like, I hate to think that Goose was just throwing out things that sound cool or tantalizing with no idea where to go with them. Noxus Crow says, look aside, inspiring me to make a video. Well, I was inspiring someone in my Discord to also make a video on this, and hey, feel free to take any of my talking points from this stream. You don't even have to credit me. Feel free to take any of my talking points. I don't mind. I've already made my 15-minute video. It's more of an overview. So if you want to take any of my points or expand on anything I say here, feel free. So Zeno over on Twitch says, you can't just leave bits of information and not give us anything to dig deeper. That makes me angry. I do have that bit in my video coming out tomorrow, the whole, you can't just have your characters announce how they feel! That makes me feel angry! So yeah, that's my, Goose has issues, it was always gonna leak into the script. I mean, writing what you know is not a bad thing, you know? Writing what you know is not a bad thing, but my issues are more with the execution than the actual content. You know, like, I feel like pieces of all of this could work. It just needed to be executed better. And if you weren't gonna resolve any of these mysteries about the AI or the circus or whatever the fuck else, then don't bring them up. You know? It's really not that difficult. So Jax goes on a big bitch baby tantrum.
You'll get to leave your mark in the world. Oh, isn't that fun?
He starts attacking them all like, oh, you guys are still living your real lives out there. And it's like, well, yeah, motherfucker, they're all going through the same thing you are. He has absolutely no concept of mind. He has no sympathy for anybody else. Why should we have any sympathy for him, you know?
Jessel sent a super chat. I have to leave now, but I'm excited to hear your totally fair video tomorrow. Have fun, everyone. We're each other's mind scan so buddy system and another aura attacks as Jax son wahaha.
Oh god, how do I do Jax's voices? It's kinda like this, I guess. Aura, mama! That doesn't sound anything like him. Look, it's really hard for me to do impressions of male characters. Leave me alone. Unless I'm doing an old man voice, and then it's fine. This should have been my voice for our protagonist in Disco Elysium, but I just keep talking as myself. I think that's a little funnier, actually. See, if all the other characters, king or women, are women-coded, I feel like Jax would be nicer. That's the thing, too. It's like every female character gets sidelined for Jax, and all he's ever done is abuse all the women around him, and the reason why he does that is really weak, and not something anybody should put up with. You know? So we have them crying, oh, we're brain scans, booty hooty hoo. And it just feels like this episode wastes a lot of time. A lot of the characters just walking in silence. It's very padded. Like, if you took out all the padding, the plot here would be incredibly thin. You know? Atmos says, I'ma be like Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner up in here because Funny Bunny ain't getting no simpy from me. I have no idea what that means, but... very good. Yeah, Replica Rap says, and people say Hell of a Boss is sexist, right? I wonder how a lot of these people who think that Digital Circus is way better than Has-Been Hotel, I wonder how they're gonna be feeling after this. Dialon says, the only thing keeping Jax from going insane was tormenting everyone else, and as soon as everyone stopped caring about what he did, it actually subscribed to it. Yeah, and that's kind of shit, isn't it? Like, oh, the only thing keeping me sane is making everybody else miserable. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like, because you have that line where he's like, oh my god, this is real. I feel like if Jax was more delusional the entire show, that would have paid off more. Because now it's just like, what did he mean by that? Obviously he knows these are other real people. You know? And it's like, if he was like completely cuckoo bananas acting like Bugs Bunny from the start, I think that would have worked better. And then we see more of his darker side the closer we get toward the end, where he's got to lose his mind and have to accept that this is real and they're all trapped in here, you know? Again, there's so many little pieces that if you just rearranged them and polished up the points in between, the show could be a lot stronger. I go over that in the video I'm releasing tomorrow as well, which I'm going to keep plugging. Where I talk about how certain episodes could be rearranged, and that would immediately fix so many problems. You know? Yeah, like, have Jax be absolutely cuckoo bananas, acting like Woody Woodpecker, and it's like, oh, that's just Jax, that's how he is, and Pomni's just like, okay, but, like, you gotta be a real person under there, right? And he's just like, ah! You know, that could be even scarier, you know? If he was, like, super toony in his insanity, that could be even scarier.
At NerdOffAllTrades 505 sent a super chat. I finished my video, just need to make a thumbnail.
Hey, yeah, that's who I was talking about earlier, Nerds. I'm gonna be promoting his video in my posts when it goes up. So we're both hopefully releasing them tomorrow, God willing.
At Hori Yashofakale sent a super chat. I think this needed another draft. D+/C.
Yeah, the finale definitely need one. Like, even if it was gonna focus on Jax, I still think some of this is at least salvageable, but as the ending to an entire show, this is not great. Zeno Salazar over on Twitch says, I honestly wish Pomni was more fleshed out character. Self-inserting can work, but man, why make a character boring or have no personality, but have the other characters be so in love with them? Yeah, Pomni really has no character. I mean, what's one of Pomni's character traits? Can anyone tell me? I mean, she just seems like she's a manic pixie dream girl who's there to fix Jax by the end. And again, with the line of, I knew it would turn out this way, he just wants me to suffer, with her personality being all over the place and her weird obsession with helping everybody, I deadass thought Pomni was gonna turn out to be an AI!
At Miss Jasmine 305 sent a super chat. We needed more of Gangle's feelings about Jax. We get so little about it after he abstracts. Feels like there's a big part of her character missing.
Oh, but come on, Miss Jasmine! Gangle's whole arc culminates with her learning to cry for her abuser! Isn't that inspiring? Right? But, like, why is she a fixer? Like, we don't know much about her life outside the circus other than she was an accountant. You know? Like, what is even her main personality trait? Just she's nice and reaches out to other people. Okay. Is that it? I mean, really?
At Direwolf181 sent a super chat. Feel I might be one few who liked the ending.
I'm not gonna call you stupid or anything if you like the ending. I mean, you like what you like, but and again, I'm a giant snob, and I focus on the technical aspects of shows as much as the story. And that's just how I approach it. But if it makes you feel better, I've loved plenty of things that I think have terrible writing. I'm a fan of Once Upon a Time and Gotham. Both of those shows are fantastic watches. Absolutely dog shit writing. I would say Gotham has worse writing than Digital Circus, actually. But it's so good. Because all the actors are fun, and the costumes and the sets, and some of those storylines are good, and then other storylines are absolutely fucking stupid. You know, it's all over the place, but the show is fun. So, I get it, right? I get it. I'm not that way with Digital Circus. Unfortunately, I don't feel like Digital Circus is greater than the sum of its parts. Like, I'm also a Steven Universe fan, as many of you know. Steven Universe, very flawed show. I do have a lot of criticism for it, no matter what the internet thinks. However, I do think it's greater than the sum of its parts in the end, you know?
At Evie Tomato Soup Full sent a super chat. Humans just aren't relatable. Pomni, there's the relatability we need. What was the point of this line if she is just a regular human?
I know! Was that maybe the original trajectory or something? I don't know. Maybe those lines were just low random humor and they weren't supposed to mean anything. But again, why emphasize these things if you don't want us to pay attention to them? So there were so many little pieces that led to Pomni being an AI, but nope, she's just poorly written female main character. Oh boy.
At Sawsonist sent a super chat. Give it 5 stars cause Stevie Wonders isn't she lovely?
Well, there you go. Can't argue with that, can I? It's not like one of the greatest songs ever written. See, Junifer Saturn over on Twitch says, Steven Universe had about the same level of writing as this show. No! SU had way better writing than this show. Even SU's crying in therapy speak didn't take up as much time as this fucking show. I say that in the video, too, that I'm a Steven Universe fan, and I still think these characters cry and talk about their feelings too much. So, let's see. So we have prolonged shots of them crying. And then Pomni finds Kinger and has a conversation with him that's just him giving her a pep talk again. Kinger just exists to give pep talks and exposition dumps. He doesn't really have any character agency outside of that. He doesn't have any grand mysteries around him, as seemed to be implied by the way he's framed. Just nope, he's just there to give the youngins a pep talk. So, yeah, it's good.
3738 sent a super chat. I wish we got to see the evil versions of the evil characters in the end credits.
like they're fighting against them in a baseball game again. Pearl would fit right into the digital circus. I hate you're right. She'd seduce Ragatha though. So she has a heart-to-heart with Kinger, and it says like, oh, we've had this conversation before, and he's like, you're strong, Pomni. And she's like, I just really wanted to help everybody, but it turned out like this. And again, like, why was she so adamant on helping everyone, especially if she didn't know they were brain scans all along? Again, if Pomni was an AI, it would make more sense that she is, like, slavishly devoted to helping everyone. Like, she's a program who is supposed to help their mental state or something. So, the next part, I don't really care about this conversation. I do like Kinger, but I'm pretty sure this is the last point he talks in the episode. He just has this opening conversation with Pomni, and then his character is not needed in the script anymore, and then he doesn't talk anymore. So... yeah, that's, I guess it's implied that Kinger doesn't remember the conversations he has in the dark, but then he picked up on why Pomni wanted a bucket on his head when he came back into sanity before, and, like, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense.
At Espionata5011 sent a super chat. I liked the ending. The only thing that bugs me that the fandom is reading it that Jax is trans and he would be fixed if he came out, which no.
Yeah, I feel like the show doesn't say he's trans. It is perfectly non-committal, so you can think anything you want about it. But, like, the framing is not great if you do want to take it that way, because it's like, oh, he has an absentee father, might have killed his mom, abuses every woman he meets. That must mean he's trans? I don't know about that one there, Chief. I don't know about that one there, Chief. Again, I think these are more unfortunate implications than deliberate, but it's like,
At the Sunny Leaf sent a super chat. What is your opinion on Ragatha? She is my fave, but I feel like she was done dirty. Also, despite all this, the Gooseworks hate is insane.
I like Ragatha a lot, and yes, she was done dirty. And yes, the Gooseworks hate is fucking insane. I'm just saying I don't think she's a very good writer. That's not really any condemnation on her as a person. This just feels like the work of a very inexperienced writer. For Jax, I just feel like he's kind of a femboy, you know? Like, he likes things that are considered quote-unquote girly, and he's been programmed by his mom's emotional issues to stay away from girly things. Like, my 2 straight friends took Ribbit putting the bow on his head as her flirting with him, so make of that what you will.
At Julius0321 sent a super chat. I would also explain why she's a jester. She exists to relieve the tension of the group and serve as humorous truth tellers.
Yeah, but she doesn't really do that. You know? She doesn't really do that throughout the show, so I can't really... I don't know. I feel like the character designs came first, you know, which is fine. I mean, it's like, okay, well, like, they look like typical characters you would see in an early 2000s children's game. That's fine. Again, this would have been fixed if it was just a game in the first place that CNA created. If you just had it be a game that CNA was working on, everything would make much more sense. So, why did you contradict that?
At DinoNuggy22 sent a super chat. I mean, sometimes people want to help others for no other reason except they just want to.
I guess that's fair, but I mean, as the motivation for your main protagonist, it's just... It's not great, and we didn't really explore Pomni as a character, her hopes and fears very much. We barely know anything about her compared to everyone else. Like... Well, yes, I know shitty people who happen to be trans exist, but when you're talking about, like, a fictional story, I don't know. The messaging seems a little off, if that's... And again, the show didn't make him trans. It seemed more like he's just a guy who has really big problems of being insecure in his masculinity. That really seems to be where it landed, but with enough room for the people who do the trans headcanon to be happy and have something to chew on. Again, it felt perfectly non-committal. You know? So... Yeah, a lot of people interpreted Ribbit as just flirting with him by putting her bow tie on his head. Yeah, so, I don't know. And then the other characters join in because they can all conjure so they can rebuild the circus. I don't know why they rebuild the circus exactly like it was, or how even the structure stayed behind without Kane. Like, I feel like they could have, like, built their own thing. Again, if the story had ended with Pomni becoming the next ringmaster and building a new place for them, that would have worked better in my mind, and that would include everybody and not just focus on one character. You know, I don't know, Jupiter Saturn. I don't think it fulfilled any real themes at all. And that's my other problem with it. It didn't really use the setting well, and it doesn't really say anything thematically. It's just a bunch of wacky events that sure happened, and if it wanted to say something like goofy and episodic, like a Smiling Friends, it should have just done that. It could have been like a Smiling Friends, and it's just silly, and a shitpost. It could have gone the more don't hug me, I'm scared direction, where it's really weird and abstract, but does have a meaning underneath. Not a solid story, but meaning, you know? And it does seem like the show got way and way and way more conventional as it went on. Because it started out almost like in a don't hug me, I'm scared kind of way. It started out really abstract, and then as it went on, it just became way more conventional, you know? And just kind of normal.
At Hori Yashofakale sent a super chat. I expected Ribbit to be more than a fridge girl.
Yeah, she kind of doesn't really exist for much, but for Jax to be sad over, huh? And he's the one who fridged her, basically. I don't know, maybe people headcanon Jax is trans because Goose is trans, and Goose said Jax is my self-insert. Who knows if she was joking or not? You never know with Goose. She just says things on social media, you know, and she lies a lot. So, I took Jax as my self-insert I funnel all of my issues into as a joke. But some people obviously take it seriously. I mean, I can see how maybe, well, then again, Jax was really fucking focused on in the end, so... And if that is true, then that's just kind of narcissistic. You know, and I'm gonna be critical of that, you know? Oh, don't you even dare compare Jax to James Sunderland, Arias. James Sunderland is a real character.
At Evie Tomato Soup Full sent a super chat. Remember Psy, main message is, don't be ADHD/autistic. Then you'll make friends. Smiley face emoji, be a bully, you'll be loved. So long as you're a guy.
Evie's been a little bitter in my Discord was saying earlier. I guess the lesson with Kane is don't be neurodivergent. I mean, we were joking, but it's a little like that.
V6Z sent a super chat. I love Athena P, but her take of the finale on Letterboxd is kinda bad. I might get some points in the upcoming vid though.
Huh. Maybe we'll check that out. Athena P letterboxed. Hang on, Athena P. Well, we won't read it right now, but I'm putting it up for later. Let's see. We find somebody's specific review. Continue without supporting you, god damn it. Is this... Oh, I can handle the truth. Okay, so is this the right one? Athena Floor? Okay. We might look at that later after we go over the episode. Well, yeah, yeah, we'll talk about that. The abrupt fucking... This is the part I don't like the most here. So, yeah, Jax comes up to Pomni and is like, about to say something to her, and she just stares at him, and he says, never mind. Like, say something. That's more on him than her. And then we get, out of fucking nowhere, for the first time in the show, Pomni has narration.
I wish I'd pried a little more. I somehow forgot how bad it can get.
Why does she suddenly have narration? There has never been narration even once in this show. Why is she saying it in the past tense? Like she's telling this finale to someone later. And then she doesn't have narration again until the very end. What the fuck was that? Whatever, never mind. So... Yeah!
912 sent a super chat. I'm an autistic little F. Where's my god powers?
Yeah, we should all have cane powers. Autistic people deserve cane powers. I decree it.
At Direwolf181 sent a super chat. I did like the thing with him and Ribbit. He fumbled it hard cause he can't open up and he kept doing it. It's sad that
yeah,
he
well,
set
when
up his own doom.
When we get to that part, I do have some praise for, like, the POV montage later, but right now I'm just like, maybe it's meant, but no, because then she has, like, she's never had an internal monologue either, the entire show. You can't just introduce an internal monologue or narration when that has never been in the show! Yeah. It just cuts to them all staring down at an abstraction, so... Maybe she was supposed to be talking to... Ragatha here? Yes, it's that annoying, damn it! For one thing, I think narration is a very weak crutch in film. So I'm already biased. And it's just lazy! What is this segue? Like, I get, like, I kind of... The bare minimum I could get, maybe the point was, oh, if you don't check up on your friends, you'll find one day they killed themselves, and it happens suddenly before you can even blink, but, like, that just isn't effective. This isn't effective. It's not well executed if that's what they were going for. And, like, it's just confusing. So, yeah. Now, when I saw this, me and many other people thought, oh, the abstractions are escaping from under the floor. Because wouldn't that make sense? There's big fucking holes in the floor right now. So what if all the abstractions started crawling up from under the ground? That would be a much more interesting finale. And then they could, like, lose Jax in the herd of abstractions. You know? If you still want him to abstract. There's just so many ways, even with this finale, you could fix it to make it a bit better. And that's just what's making me crazy here. Because it's like, it didn't have to be this bad. Like, seriously, just get a story editor, get another writer looking at it for you. There are ways to improve this. This feels like a first draft. You know?
At Cross V6Z sent a super chat. Don't put Athena on blast though, I might be wrong, and this might be a legit understandable take. Though dunk on Just Stop's review, that was shit.
Everybody wants me to pick on Just Stop lately. I mean, I've watched him before. He stopped by stream before, and I'm like, I don't really want to pick on him, but God, it looks like he is starting to have some bad takes on the boys and shit, so it's like, Anyway, let's not get distracted. But yeah, it would have been so much cooler if it was just like, oh shit, the abstractions are escaping from the basement, what do we do? You know? Like, that would have been a much more interesting plot thing, and then all the characters could have had their little moments, you know, and we wouldn't have to focus on Jax for like 25 minutes of an hour-long finale.
At DinoNuggy22 sent a super chat. Well, I guess since the computer fell through the floor, that would mean the cellar is gone and the abstraction all fell into the void.
Except you would be wrong, because at the very end of the episode, we see they've set up a little aquarium for the abstractions. So the abstractions are still there, even though episode 8 forgot about them. So it's reasonable to assume these are abstractions escaping from the floor.
At Miss Jasmine305 sent a super chat. I wish they'd all gone to Jax's room to confront him and found he'd abstracted. Like a parallel to Kaufmo in the beginning.
Yeah, that would have been better. Like, anything would have been better than this. Like, again, what if it was the abstractions are escaping out from under the floor, and they're like, oh god, where's Jax? We need to tell him this is going on, and then they open his door, and he's abstracted too. And then they lose him among the herd of abstractions. That could have been interesting. Would have been better than this. Oh yeah, I'll talk about the little flashback with Scratch. I figured out what that is, but when I saw it in the theater, I too was very confused what the fuck was going on. It's just, again, it's just not good execution. That's what a lot of this comes down to. There's not good execution. You know, like, the ideas aren't bad, but the execution is awful. And so it makes me angry at them. So this is where they all start grieving Jax. Pomni and Ragatha have a conversation that does not pass the Bechdel test, and then they have a hug. Like, Ragatha's only development here is, oh, I used to be friends with Jax, and then I wasn't, and let me tell you his tragic backstory. No one's ever asked me about my shit with my mother, but let me tell you about Jax's backstory, Pomni. So even in the final episode, Ragatha gets Jax shit. She has been so wasted this entire show. And a while ago, Goose was like, oh, you don't think Ragatha's gonna get development in the final episode? And it's like, what development, Goose? She talks about Jax? Maybe if he is your narcissistic self-insert, you think that's a good thing? But, no. Atmakun says, my cat says he is not Gooseworks, but Goose is more than happy to take my seat and listen in on stream. Oh, that's right, your cat is named Goose. Not going to lie, the whole alternate universe crap in Jax's mind was pointless. It is! It is! You could cut most of it. Yeah, so instead of learning anything about Ragatha, they both talk about Jax, and then they hug for a weirdly long amount of time. Maybe just so this episode can reach an hour in length. It's like a whole minute or something. Like, this is just here to fill time. This is just here to pad. Because you have no plot in this episode except Jax.
What are we gonna do?
Make sure Gangle, Zooble, and Kinger are okay. They need someone like you right now.
Pomni.
As the two main women, we must manage everyone else's emotions, Ragatha. I'm going to be very, very critical of the sexism I'm seeing here. Again, I think it's more unfortunate implications rather than malice, but I see it!
You've been one of the best things to happen to me since I got here.
Like, when the fuck did you two even bond? Like, when?
I trust you.
When did you get this close? And then they just stare at each other for a weirdly long amount of time. And again, it's just padding. What does this mean? What are you trying to communicate to me? And I have a perfect piece of fan art I saw on Twitter for this. It says, oh wait, no, scroll up. Or maybe I have to zoom out. By process of elimination, you are my new best friend, Ragatha! That is literally what happened here.
At DinoNugget22 sent a super chat. Also, forgive me, Sai, I may fight back some of your spicy takes, but I will always respect your opinions. Smile.
No problem. We're opinion respecters around here. You may fight with me and argue with me. I like to argue. You might have noticed. I think it's fun. We don't have to take it personally. You know, it's fine.
At CrassV6Z sent a super chat. Can we talk about how the part when Pomni first hugs Jax was literally the scene from Rose's Scabbard?
I can see how you think that, yeah.
At Miss Jasmine305 sent a super chat. This moment should have been about Tragatha opening up more to Pomni out of fear of any more of them, including herself, abstracting. Not Jax.
Yeah. Remember Zubal's line to Gangle about how she deserves better than thinking about Jax when he's not even here? What happened to that? You know? Oh, I know, the shippers probably love this shit. The shippers probably love this shit, and yes, I do think Ragatha has a very cute design. I can kind of see why people simp for her. So, I too like redheads. People are always like, oh, Sai, that's your type, huh? And it's like, look, listen, I have many types. Many, just woman. Jose over on Twitch says, putting symphonic metal in the background, lol. That would be a funny one to put music to, huh? Gummigu and Pomni had better development than Pomni and Ragatha. Yeah, like, what was with the fucking, like, overemphasis on Gummigu when the themes around him meant nothing in the end? Like, was he just supposed to be foreshadowing that they're brain scans? You know? Like, I thought that would apply to, like, other AI, that maybe they could treat the other AI like people, too, like Kane, you know?
Evie Tomato Soup Full sent a super chat. I actually have to go. New car stuff. But for the future, when Pomni hugs Jax, it's her face straight into his butt because of her height. At Nostalgic Nerd 9036 sent a super chat. Yeah, to me episode 9 felt rushed.
Yeah. Kraz says it's called combos, not types. I'm gonna steal that. Anyway, so we have abstracted dog Jax shuffling around. Pomni takes a gun. I guess that's supposed to be a callback, and she shoots out all these lights because Kinger told her his wife was calm in the dark. She doesn't know that that will work for every abstraction, but okay. Why are there still lights even in this hallway is my question. So, yeah.
At CrassV6Z sent a super chat. Oh, that's right. What about Gummigu?
He amounted to nothing, just like a lot of this show.
At Forbidden sent a super chat. Hot take, but I like the off-screen abstraction. It highlights its inevitability. But note how Jax didn't care what abstracting would mean without Kane.
Yeah, or bit. I mean, I think it just. I think they could have done it that way, where it happens off screen again, kind of like, oh, you know, someone dies. It's like they're there one day and just gone the next, like they vanished. That would be fine, but it wasn't executed well. If it was executed better, I wouldn't really have a problem with it, you know? Atmakun says, another nitpick about the finale, the post-credit scene should have been Ming coming out and being all, you shouldn't have just assumed this ending would make sense. No, it should have had disappearing guy can't come out for like an extra credit scene. And like he gets one word out and disappears, and then it's just silent for like a minute or two. That would be funny. So, I don't know how she knew this would work, but she like hugs the abstraction, or, I don't know, no-clips her face through it or something. So she hugs it, and that lets her see into Jax's mind. So that's kind of stupid. I feel like if we wanted to explore Jax's mind, there were other ways we could have done this. You know, and it shouldn't have been the finale. Like, exploring a character's mind to see what they really think and what their true, deep, dark secrets and pains are is fine. That's a trope. It's a well-worn trope, but it's a trope that you can use. It doesn't matter, especially in a place like this. Like, maybe it shouldn't have been done when he was abstracting, because again, how did she know this would work? Why do they not try this with any other abstractions to see if maybe they can talk to the people inside? You know, like, again, maybe I'm thinking too hard world building here, but it's just, I can't suspend my disbelief this far. You know, I'm sorry. Like, how did she know this would work? Especially when, like, touching an abstraction makes you glitch out. It's, like, contagious. So, we have this trippy ball seed, and then we end up in Jax's mind, and then we have a bunch of useless scenes that don't need to be here. So, like, she goes through 3 different doors first. And honestly, it could have just skipped to the final door. We didn't need any of this. we didn't need any of this. So in the first one, he's just all creepy and chokes her, which is boring as fuck. Because when, again, I do have a bad habit of seeing trailers and building my own plot in my head. But what I was thinking was more interesting than this. So when I saw these shots of him with the big wide eyes, and with the circus still colorful, I was thinking maybe he's walking around the circus hallucinating that it's the way it was. And this is another in my argument of Jax should have been more delusional. Maybe I should add that to my video. No, my video is what it is now, but I feel like Jax should have been more delusional. You know, I think that would have made his character work more. Instead of him just being a regular old abusive asshole. Zito Salazar says she knew it would work because she read the script. What's that on the ground next to her? Is that the script? So, yeah, so... My idea that this was him hallucinating that the circus is back to normal is more interesting than just... Oh, he chokes her. It's like that fight they had in episode 6. What a callback. And then it's like, okay, whatever the fuck. And then we have this weird little scene, which... I don't know if it's supposed to be funny, if it's supposed to be fan service? So this is like, if Zooble died, Jax would prance around in the maid outfit and try to seduce Gangle, I guess. Why does this need to be here? So you just wanted to put him in the maid outfit again? So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of funny, but... And then we see the what if Gangle died, and we see how he thinks of Zooble, and I actually think Zooble's bit is kind of funny. The animators were clearly having fun with this.
You killed the only person I've ever loved! Now I'm going to kill you!
Eesh, you just blame me for everything, don't you?
Like, I fucking love that shot of Zooble just running with the goddamn chainsaws. Like, and you see what I mean, too, but I really think the animators carried a lot of this show with their visual characterization and their character acting for each of these characters, like, things that just wouldn't really be in the script, you know? So I really feel like the animators carried a lot of this.
I gotta do something about this!
It looks like really good, like, noodly...
I think this calls for a change in scenery.
Animation, too. Like, I could see a whole show animated in this style. This little last bit makes me laugh. It does.
That's all, freaks!
It just cuts off his fucking head. I don't know, I like that. That's funny, but like, again, I feel like you could have just skipped right to this point. And nothing would change in the overall story. Just skip right here to the 4 Jaxes. So we again see, oh, the different sides of Jax, the different extremes of his personality. And again, this is just This is kind of a tropey thing you see in a lot of shows. It's fine, but I feel like we could have just skipped right to this. And we wouldn't have lost a single thing. Yeah, I have demons playing in the background while we listen to this. By the way, I do have my stream playlist on Spotify, if you like any of the music I'm playing right now. I have bought all the music I play on iTunes, I think, except for... No, I did buy the Kind Words soundtrack, because you had to buy it on Steam. But most of it's on iTunes, because I'm old.
At Miss Jasmine 305 sent a super chat. If they'd had Pomni getting glimpses into Kaufmo's memories from his POV when she touched him in episode 1, it could have been good foreshadowing for this.
Yeah. Meaning this probably wasn't planned all along. You know? I mean, Goose claims she had the whole show planned out, but, I don't know if I believe that. I'm sorry. I really don't, because the tone between the pilot and this finale is so fucking different. It's not even the same show it started as. You know? It really isn't. Yes, Seraphil the Last says, I don't hate TADC, but I wouldn't watch it again. Yeah, I don't really see myself watching it again, personally. But again, I am still glad it exists. I'm so glad for what it does for indie animation. I still appreciate the animation. I like the look of the show. I like the animation. I like the design work, because, like, you got cool creative stuff like this, like how the room is, like, this weird, like, almost neon light outlines, like black light outlines. That's really cool. You know, a lot of the set designs in this show are great. And that really just makes the whole setting being squandered, like, even worse for me, though, because it's like, you have so much creative shit going on in the background here, but in the foreground, the characters are just therapy talking at each other in their stupid little clown costumes, and it's kind of like, I can't take this seriously. I'm sorry, you know? So, the last Jax, he's chained to the piano for some reason. I guess maybe this is a side of himself he doesn't allow others to see, is the implication, because he's more meek, he's kind of like evil Jax. From that one episode. Garbo says, Goose claims she'd make the show bad on purpose if the fandom became assholes. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that was a joke.
At DireWolf181 sent a super chat. Maybe you need a connection the abstract to work?
Well, yeah, but that's just you filling in details for the writer for her when she should have done it herself, you know? That's still something I'm gonna criticize. So in the final door, we see real-life footage, the real-life flashes he flashed to in episode 7, so this was at least planned out when episode 7 came out. So we'll give them that, or at least they took this footage, knowing they were gonna do something with it. So that part I don't care about, but all these POV shots, I actually think this sequence is good. If it was connected to a better story, I would like it more. You know?
Miss Jasmine 305 sent a super chat. Never explained why Jax always has keys they need.
I don't know. I guess because he's good at conjuring. That's one thing I didn't really need that explained for me. Like, he's using video game logic in a video game-ish setting, and they all can conjure objects, so that's explained enough for me, you know? Besides, a lot of his keys didn't, like, fucking work. We only saw him use one to open Kaufmo's door, so who knows if those keys even fucking work? You know, Salazar says, not even sure I would call it therapy talk since the characters lacked a lot of how actual therapists would actually approach these conversations. I'm saying it colloquially, like, it's mostly the characters just, like, you know, giving each other pep talks and talking about, you know, coping and their emotions and yada 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 blah blah blah. You know, it's really, like, stuff that could be executed better, could be, you know, communicated through more clever dialogue. But all this stuff is actually pretty good.
Okay. Wait, what's...
The early stuff is kind of boring, though, so yeah, we find out, oh, they went up there every week, and we see him becoming friends with Ribbit and Kaufmo. Meaning that, I guess he did put the Firefly adventure in the suggestion box, because who else would have suggested this if they had been here before? The Ragatha would have seen it before. And then Ragatha gets sidelined again, even in the flashbacks. We don't get to learn anything more about her. She's like, oh, you're gonna hang out with Ribbit? Okay, cool. I'm not needed right now. I'll just walk off screen. So we see them becoming friends. And then there's this scene where she's totally flirting with him and he totally blows it. So, one thing I'll say about this scene, though, is I do like, the dialogue is really fucking on the nose. The second time around, it was even worse. But I do like Michael Kovac's acting here. I like the way he kind of, like, really pulled back and sounded really natural and sounded really realistic. And that, you know, juxtaposed against the cartoony visuals, I think is really effective. So I can at least give some compliments here. I think this is effective.
Is this your way of trying to get me to open up?
It's my way of letting you know I trust you.
I told you I was homeless. What else do you need to know?
Do you trust me?
Yeah, but it's just...
Especially around here, he starts getting more
It's
realistic.
kind of a lot.
You're kind of a lot. But I still like you. A lot is fine.
A lot is fine, huh?
We're not quite there yet. So before he gets into his backstory. Here, yeah.
I had a weird relationship with my parents.
The way this is filmed is good, too.
They split when I was just starting high school.
Or animated, I should say.
I was never close with my dad. He was there, but...
I don't know exactly how they did this camera work other than basically putting the camera in the character's head. You know? That it is like... this is like a view like looking down in VR at your avatar, you know? I know that from personal experience.
He also kind of... wasn't... He never seemed
how
proud
subtle
of me,
his acting
and
here
I
is.
always felt like a disappointment to him. Like I could never live up to his standards.
Also, someone put Ribbit's room in VR chat.
When they split up, I just never saw him again. I thought,
like, bro, she totally wants to fuck you right now. You're not getting it.
At Nostalgic Nerd 9036 sent a super chat. They just wanted to get the show over done with.
Maybe. I mean, I don't blame Goose for just wanting to wash her hands of this project after the fandom have been, like, really weird and parasocial and insane.
At Crass V6Z sent a super chat. If I had a nickel for every time Aaron did a voice only for a show's finale, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
You know, I didn't know he was Kaufmo. I didn't realize it was him, and I also think his acting sounds very natural in this, which is kind of impressive.
At
It's
the
not
Sunny
easy.
Leaf sent a super chat. I love this room SM. It's everything I ever wanted.
I know, right? Like, I could make this my default world in VR chat and be very happy with that.
But I got along better with Mom, but after he was gone...
So, mostly from what we learned from this is, well, let's just let him say it. Because I am going to complain about this. And the little change from POV to zooming around to him is also a really nice bit of direction and nice bit of animation.
When they split up, I just never
Still
saw
in
him again.
POV, and then very smoothly,
I thought I got along better with Mom,
gradually,
but after he was
rotates
gone,
around to him instead. I like that
she
bit of direction.
changed.
I like that a lot. Again, I mostly like the animation in this show, more than the writing.
when I showed weakness, I was less of a man than him. When I lashed out, I was just as bad as him. It was confusing. It was like she missed him, but also hated him. And I became the target of all that. One...
Sorry if the music's distracting, I'll pause it.
I was just kind of fed up with it. I told her something I regret telling her. Something deep and personal that I thought would get her off my back. But she laughed at me. Then she went off on me, and it didn't stop. Personal, degrading insults that felt like it went on forever. And despite all that, the thing that bothered me most was, at the end of all of it, she hugged me. I didn't know what to do. So I panicked, and I pushed her off me with all the force I could. She fell backwards. And she didn't get up. I didn't know if she was just trying to make me feel bad, or... I never found out the answer.
So again, I'm gonna say I do like his acting here. I do think the dialogue is too on the nose, just like, I am reciting my backstory right now. But I do think Michael Kovac's acting is very, very good here, and I like how subtle it is and how realistic it is. Because again, after all the anime stuttering, this is a breath of fresh fucking air. Oh no, I actually saw the episode in theaters on the 4th. I've been waiting to do this. I promised I wouldn't do the episode discussion until the episode was out for everybody. So, and I knew this was all anyone would want to talk about tonight, so I just did this instead of my normal Friday stream. But yeah, so really what we're looking at here is his mom had emotional issues after getting divorced, which is a hard thing for a young person in their early 20s who's just going from teenagerhood to adulthood. That I can understand. It, like, explains his actions, but the show almost seems to want it to excuse his actions. Like, my mom had emotional problems, so I'm gonna take that out on every woman I meet, and those women, in turn, should still try to reach out to me, or I'm gonna kill myself. Which just sounds like a really abusive pattern, and the show doesn't seem to think it is. So, yeah, again, I think it's more just unfortunate implications than anything else. But it really kind of makes it sound like it's every woman in the world's responsibility to baby him because his mom had emotional problems. You know, it kind of is coming at it from that angle a little bit. And it's a lot, women are often treated like this in fiction. As secondary creatures who are there to soothe the man pain, because the man pain is deeper and more complex than anything we could ever feel. You know, Ragatha can't feel anything as complex as Jax, I'm sure. Or Gangle? No, definitely can't feel anything. She doesn't have pain as complex as Jax's. Even though Ragatha's mom sounded much, much worse than Jax's, her pain couldn't possibly be as deep as his. And guess what? She doesn't treat people like it. But again, those two are good contrasts to each other because they both have problems with abusive moms, and we don't know how reliable Jax is in his side of the story. They both had abusive moms, and one turned into a people pleaser, and the other one turned antisocial, and they could have been good foils for each other, but that just never coalesced in the show, you know? Well, I mean, what else can you take from this finale other than all the other characters should have reached out even harder to this guy who rejected any help or camaraderie at every turn? And it just so happens that the majority of the other characters are female. So it just kind of, sounds like you're just belittling any pain man could feel. Well, why is it... I'm calling it man pain because it's elevated above the other characters who are mostly women, you know? Because, like, what about Ragatha and her problems with her mom that sound even worse than his? She doesn't get a mind meld like this, so we can see her hidden pain. Her big emotional conversation in this episode is about Jax, and not herself. You know? It's just... We're basically dropping everything to focus on the one main male character. And that's kind of a problem. You know? And it's like, okay, well, he has feelings because of how his mom treated him, but also his mom might be dead? That's kind of worse than being big sad, I think.
At Crest V6Z sent a super chat. This show would make a great lesson of use of live action referencing in animation.
I would, yeah.
At Plasmamu sent a super chat. The softest kid glove. Come here for a warm hug.
I know, and it's like, he hasn't done anything to earn it. You know, like, these people have reached out to him over and over and over again, and he constantly rejects it, and then he treats them like shit. So why the fuck should they keep reaching out?
At Direwolf181 sent a super chat. I disagree. I think it's more explaining but not absolving his issues. It explains why he's so afraid to open up but still wrong. He was always doomed.
Yeah, I just feel like it would be better if he rejected help one more time at the end. I just think that would have been stronger if that's the theme that was being gone for. Hurtwork Sinks says, I think you're reading into it a little unfairly. Ragatha isn't the focus. Yeah, no shit, Ragatha isn't the focus. She hasn't gotten to be the focus this entire show. And now everyone's focus is getting shoved aside for the sad bunny man who might have killed his mom.
At Hori Yashofakale sent a super chat. Jax is a Voltron of all the other characters' problems come together. Ragatha mommy issues, Zubul gender issues, Gangle depression.
I guess it would be fine if he was the main character the entire time. Like, just make him the main character then, if that's what you're gonna focus on. You know? Like, the setup is just all backwards if that's what you're gonna... Which makes me think it wasn't the plan from the start, it just kind of ended up that way. Xeno Salazar says, I'm sorry, the lighting here is making me think of Moist Post by one of the animators. Do I even want to know? And also, I still hate Pomni's line in 8. We all done bad things, bitch. What reality are you in right now? Yeah, what did Kinger do that was so bad? All this guy is this guy just tortures everybody else. Remember his big speech in episode 6? Like, you are my playthings, I torture you for fun, there's nothing deeper to me? He was right! He was telling the truth!
At DinoNuggy22 sent a super chat. I will say that one of the few critiques I have with this episode is that it is kind of teaching the audience to forgive Jax and all of his wrongs but not teach the audience about accountability.
Yeah, it's so weird, like, the who should take accountability is, like, all over the place in this. So anyway, Ribbit, says, well, the cops aren't after you, so it's probably fine, which is kind of a realistic answer, actually. And he's like, oh, this is so embarrassing, and then she takes off her bow tie and puts it on his head. I told you before, 2 of my straight female friends took this as Ribbit flirting with him. But I do think it's there to satiate the trans headcanoners. Because they probably would do something like, oh my god, look, he likes wearing a bow, that means he's a girl. You know, so again, it's perfectly in the middle, non-committal. You could take it any fucking way you want. So everyone's happy, I guess, if you give a shit about Jax. Which I don't. Maybe I'm giving my frog impression. What's weird is they wanted to make a trans story with Jax, but Zubul is right there. Well, did they even, though? Because they didn't really. It's just, again, you could interpret it as anything. So everybody wins. You know, everybody's happy. Of course he looks good with it, matches his outfit. It really pulls those little overalls together. And then Kaufmo knocks on the door, and cock blocks Ribbit. And Jax freaks out because, oh my god, I can't let another guy see me with a bow in my hair. Tragedy. And he's like, if you tell anybody about this, I'll never talk to you again. But then he starts treating her like shit anyway. Star Sailor also says, as a straight man, I also read it as her being flirty. Well, there you go. Tyler says, so a man wearing anything feminine pink clothing is considered trans? To some people on some parts of the internet, yeah. So I'm just saying. So this next part where we see their arguments progress over time from his POV, though, I do think this is well done.
Hey, Jax.
And again, if this was like surrounded by a better written finale or a better written storyline and like the whole Jax head dive wasn't the finale, I would like this more, but I think this is very well done. I think the animation is good, I think the voice acting is good. Again, everyone hears, it sounds more natural, it sounds more, like, realistic speaking than the show usually does, so I think it works very well.
Look, about yesterday. I'm sorry if I pried too hard or made you feel uncomfortable or...
What are you talking about? Oh,
Especially
you mean...
Kovac.
You know none of that was real, right? What, that corny backstory out of a Hallmark movie? Nah. Really got you, though.
The little transition, too.
I'm gonna
I like
go.
that a lot. I like the sound effect. Scratches my brain.
Hey, wanna team
And
up?
again, I had no idea Kaufmo was Aaron. He sounds so fucking natural. It sounds like they just got a guy. You know? It's just, you know, I don't even think about it. It's just like, oh yeah, that's what Kaufmo sounds like.
Nah, I'm teaming up with Kaufmo. Maybe next time, though.
I actually heard they're supposed to look like that.
The animation's so good and really
you
subtle here.
Wanna team up?
Nah, I'm with Kaufmo.
Okay.
What's up with Ribbit lately?
I have no idea.
Like, all of this is good. All this is so good.
What?
I like this. And again, if this wasn't the finale, this would be better.
I'm gonna hang out in the cafe.
Okay. Why are you telling me this?
I don't know. Hey, Jax, can we talk?
This little fight
What is there
well
for us to
done.
possibly talk about?
I don't know, just... Whatever I did, whatever's going on between us, can we just stop this? I miss talking to you.
We're here. We're talking. What else do
Yeah,
you
this
want
is
from me?
absolutely the
I just want to
strongest
be
part of the episode.
Friends, again.
What? So you could pry into my personal life and hold it over my head?
Is that really what you think? This can't be what you want!
What? Because you know me so well! Because we're such super close best friends, so we know everything about each other!
We were great friends, and I'm
my
sorry.
Them yelling
God.
over each other, it's also very realistic.
This one stupid mistake to be
Here
the
we
thing
go.
that ends
Here
all
we
of this.
go! Why are you still fixing?
This is an example of how when this show is good, it can be really fucking good. And I think that's part of why I'm so hard on it, because, like, it could have been so much better than it is. You know, it's the wasted potential that gets me more than anything.
I'm sorry for crying, but I don't want this one stupid mistake to be the thing that ends.
Well, she's similar to Pomni because they're both manic pixie dream girls for Jax, unfortunately. That's really their only role in the show in the end, but this is still a well-done sequence.
Here we go! Why are you still fixated on that night? Nothing happened! You keep reading into things when there's nothing there! You're the one using me! You're manipulating me in turn.
They both did such a good job there. It sounds like a
I'm
real
sorry.
argument.
I'll leave you alone.
At Tyler Preston 699 sent a super chat. I always assumed that the moment at episode 7 where Jax is staring at the winter crystal ball was where Ribbit died on one of the adventures. At Rabbitten sent a super chat. Orbo took a stinky poop break and missed how Jax was responsible for Ribbit's abstraction in the theater. When I found that out, hoo boy.
Oh no! So you missed that whole thing? Oh god. Well, yeah, I think a lot of people assumed, like, she abstracted in the winter adventure, but I guess that's, like, where they had their last big argument before he... You know, that was, like, the last time he ever talked to her, I think. Because he went to her room a few times, and then, like, was avoiding her, and then the next time he saw her, she was extracted.
At Direwolf181 sent a super chat. WTF was that? Jesus Christ.
Oh, kids who think they're, like, super elite internet trolls, that's what it was.
At SolarBones sent a super chat. Holy Vivzy hates some energy.
Right. Here we go. Now you guys should be back on screen. Alright, I think we're good. Thank you for whoever suggested putting it in sub-only mode. I hate doing that, because I like random people to be able to chat. But unfortunately, you know, they ruined it for everybody, so, we'll give it, like... I'll give it, like, a half hour or so. They'll probably get bored. Yeah, I'm sure it made them feel, like, big and cool. Anyway, I was about to say, I liked his little, like, his reaction there was very, like, kind of just, like, Bro, what the fuck are you talking about?
Jasmine305 sent a super chat. I think I got them all lol.
Thank you, Miss
I'm
Jasmine.
heading into a restaurant now. Gonna celebrate a friend's b-day. Catch you
Yay.
all later. Peace sign emoji.
Most of what I was doing was just hiding them from my channel, but I figured there's only gonna be like 5 of them, but no. They're probably script kitties or something.
Hey, if Ribbit ever says anything about me, just know it's not true.
What?
Yeah, I like that reaction.
Hey, Ragatha! What was that movie you were talking about earlier?
Huh? Wait, when was I... Oh, you mean yesterday? Hey, Jax.
I don't think I can stick around as viewers as they want. It's great for my engagement.
Have you seen Ribbit at all today?
Yeah, here we go. So this is what I was saying. It was their last... The argument in the snow globe area was like their last conversation. And again, this whole sequence... I think it's effective. I think it's well executed. I think it works. Kind of just wish it was in a better written story overall. Yeah, like, we could have seen more in the flashbacks about how him and Ragatha did used to be friends. Like, she says that, but, like, we don't see it. All we see is her just going, oh, you're gonna pair up with Ribbit? Okay, bye. I'm gonna walk off screen till I'm needed again. Damn it, now my connection dipped a little bit. And then, oopsie doodles. Kinda drove your friend to suicide there.
Hey.
But that's like the last good part of the episode to me, you know? And then Kakumo's weird, because they, like, what made him finally, like, abstract and go crazy? Exactly, he seems pretty calm here.
Look, we were friends, but I know you two were especially close. Just... if you need anyone to talk to.
Do I look like I need someone to talk to?
I know it's hard.
This is where I feel like he should have gotten, like, full-on delusional, like... Instead of just being a typical abusive asshole, he could have just been, like I said, like fucking Bugs Bunny, but, like, in an unhinged, scary way.
Just... don't be afraid to reach out to me. I promise.
Huh? What?
And now it's bad again. Now I've lost interest again, so Gangle shows up. We find out that Jack's named Gangle. So that's interesting.
Huh? What?
How about we call her Gangle? That sounds about as pathetic as she looks.
What?
Great choice, Gangle! I'll be sure to add that right into the system!
I like Kane's bit there, though, because Kane is precious and perfect and has never done anything wrong in his life.
At Solar Bones sent a super chat. It made me cry, so that counts for something.
Well, there you go. Again, I'm not gonna rag on you too much if you like the ending, but I have my complaints. And I don't think it was a good finale, unfortunately, and I don't think I was giving the show a chance to actually lead somewhere and amount to something, and it just never did. So, at Makun over at Twitch says, to me, this whole sequence feels like Goose teasing at what could have been a prequel mini. You want more backstory, more lore? Well, too bad. You guys were mean to me, so this is all you're getting. I don't think so. I don't know. Like I said, I think that's like one of the most effective sequences in the entire finale. Oops, sorry, I thought another super was coming through. Alright, so after that, what happens after that? And then Pomni shows up, we see that from his point of view, blah-de-blah-de-blah. And then we get to, like, the last part of his psyche, I guess? And it's just a pink lamppost in the middle of nowhere. I don't know why. This symbolism doesn't seem to parse with anything that's come before, so I don't know if this is supposed to mean something. I always say that storytelling is communication. That goes for visual storytelling, too. And if you're being incoherent, people aren't gonna understand your fucking story, you know? I'm immediately back to bitching. After, like, the one good part, I'm immediately back to bitching. And this is just, I don't know, like, he's like, I'm so bad, you're not supposed to love me,
You know everything now. So why are you here? Just to rub every mistake I've ever made in my face? I'm a terrible person. Is that what you want me to say?
Yes.
I already know I am. So why does anybody still care about me?
Me. I. You know, this is abuser talk. Like, oh, I did something wrong to you? I guess I'm just the worst person in the world, aren't I? I should just die, huh? And abusers will threaten suicide or actually commit suicide to get back at somebody. So, like, I'm having trouble sympathizing with this. You know, it's just like, oh, now we fully understand his pain and why he is the way he is, and I'm just like, he's a dick. Why should he did this to himself, and again, I feel like it would have been so much stronger, and he could have been a cautionary tale if at the very end here, instead of accepting a hug from Pomni, he, like, shoves her away and disappears into the dark. That would have immediately improved this for me, and cut the fucking song, yeah! Moral to Act 9, forgive your abuser, always. They're sad or some shit. Yeah, I know, that sounds like an exaggeration, but it kinda is that bad, isn't it? You know? And again, I think it's more unfortunate implications than being on purpose, but it's still there. And then people were laughing that she's like butt height with him when she's hugging him. I think they actually had to lower her a little bit, so she wouldn't just have her face at his ass. Zeno Zalisher says, I still feel bad for him, but man, does he need a beating and consequences. Yeah. The lack of consequences, besides abstracting, which seems peaceful in the end. Like, Dino says, you know, I would be more sympathetic with Jax if he actually did things to change his ways. Effort always speaks louder than words. Exactly! He didn't earn this! And I know, like, people don't always need to earn it in real life, but in a story, yeah, the character needs to fucking earn redemption. Like, again, storytelling is communication. It's not really supposed to be realistic. Even things that pretend they're realistic are contrived. But contrivance is something you have to hide in storytelling. It's like a magician's trick. The audience has to suspend their disbelief. You have a contract with the audience to do and fulfill certain things. If you don't do that, the story's gonna fall apart. You know? It's just frustrating, because again, it could have been better than this. It's really like, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. Like, is this really the best you could have done? Is this really the best you could come up with? I think you could have done much better things with this premise. And I really think the show needed a team of writers, so... She hugs him, he says the Doctor Who I don't want to go line, and starts hyperventilating. And then something random happens.
Stay with me.
And it's not even funny random, so you can't even say it's that. There's just flashbangs in the hallway? Like, could we not have seen Pomni throw those ahead of her before she shot out all the lights? Like, you could have added in that one shot. All you needed is a single shot to fix this. To show Pomni tossing flashbangs down the hallway before she shoots out the lights. And it would explain why those are there. Otherwise, they're just there randomly. And again, this maybe... Was this supposed to be longer? Was this supposed to be 2 episodes? Did it get chopped to bits? Or is it just written this badly? That's what I'm trying to understand. Direwolf says, you can understand and not sympathize at the same time. Side scribbles, I feel bad, but at the same time, he set his own fate into stone. He did it to himself before things got better because he's a coward. Yeah, but again, it's not framed that way in the show, is my problem. It's framed more like we're expected to feel bad for him and think this is super deep, you know? That's kind of my problem with it.
At Tyler Preston 699 sent a super chat. If Pomni was an emotional support program for the brain scanned, it would have explained why she's so persistent on helping others, especially Jax.
Exactly! It's just make Pomni an AI and suddenly a lot of this works better! Again, this is the thing, there were so many, like, tweaks, changes, little things you could do that would instantly improve this show and it wouldn't even be hard. But they didn't, I guess just Goose, because Goose is the sole writer and director, so I guess Goose just didn't think of it at the time, you know? And it's kind of like...
Atori Yashokakale sent a super chat. Pomni didn't put those there. Zubul did in episode 6.
Episode 6? Like, we're supposed to remember that from the funny haha gun episode? Where there's rampaging around the circus? Like, how were we even supposed to understand that was a Chekhov's gun, then? You know, that's just bad execution. So he had an idea there, but it's bad execution, and then, like, it's like, Pomni wouldn't have even been able to be saved if those weren't conveniently in the hallway. It was just an excuse to make him glow, I guess. Or get her out of the abstraction, I guess. But, like, it's just convenient. It's just random, you know? And then we suddenly have a Stevie Wonder song with clips from previous episodes. Because we had to make this an hour somehow. So we have a clip show in the middle of the death of a major character. Again, is this supposed to be funny? Jarring? What the fuck am I supposed to be feeling here, Gooseworks? I can't identify what you expect me to feel here.
But isn't she lovely, babe?
Did Jax turn into an AMV? Oh, Jesus, that was funny. Also, I think the spammers are gone. The view count's gone down really far. So let me, maybe we can turn all back on. And if they come back, I'll have to shut it off again. But I gotta open YouTube Studio. I think I could do that with OBS, but too late. I'm already in my browser. So, I'm doing it the hard way because I'm old. Alright. I think I have to go into the fucking stream settings to do this. So annoying. There we go. Alright, everyone should be able to talk again. If they come back, I'll change it back. Let me just keep that window open just in case. Alright. We are ready to continue, everyone. Alright, what was I bitching about? Also, since I've killed the live chat for the stream already, it won't have a live chat replay. I might just go in and cut that bit out. So, they'll get nothing out of it. So the other characters pull Pomni out with Zubul's arms all linked together. You know, weren't there barrels of monkeys in the circus? They could have used those instead of Zubul sacrificing arms, but I guess we forgot about the monkeys in a barrel. So they set up a big, like, tent in the middle of the circus tent for Jax and sacrifice Zubul's arms to lead him there. And then finally, Gangle has a moment in the finale of character development. She learns to cry for her abuser. Isn't it beautiful, guys? Even though he tortured her every single day she lived here, she learned to cry for him, guys. Isn't that beautiful? I fucking hate this. Like, why? Like, all the female characters' ultimate character development revolves around this abusive man who has never been anything but a total dick to them. It's not good. This needed more drafts, man.
At Sawesomeness sent a super chat. It's Juneteenth. That's why we play the Wonder.
I'm not sure that was the intention, but... And the monkeys in the barrel from episode 1, did they ever show up again? No. So, yeah, now that's real Stockholm Syndrome. I guess, well, yes, he's a pet now, but yeah, so she had to learn to cry for him, and she gets a moment with Zubul. It's like, you sure have complex emotions, right? And she'll just listen to their conversation. Don't cry for this bitch, Gangle. He doesn't deserve your tears.
Having a lot of complex thoughts. We're still human.
Her story is still revolving around the man who abused her, though, Rose. It's like the only character resolution Gangle gets is, I guess, getting together with Zubul, and her entire finale plot revolving around Jax. Whatever happened to Zubul telling her, you deserve more than thinking about Jax when he's not even here? This seems kind of contradictory to me. I don't know.
At DinoNuggy22 sent a super chat. So I hear from other people that this moment was more her crying because she sees that the others are caring for her abuser.
I wouldn't put it that way. I think it's supposed to be like, oh, she learned to cry for him even though he was awful. That's real big of her. That's what it feels like to me, and it's kind of like, well, it is Megan in chat says it is Gangle crying for Jax. It's quite literally set up earlier when she says, why can't I, Gangle, cry for Jax? Yeah, so earlier in the episode she asks, why can't I cry for him? And then we see her crying for him, and then yay! That's supposed to be her character arc for the finale. What a well-written female character you got there. You know, it's so frustrating.
We're still human.
Cryo says Gangle won. Well, she got a Zubul, and Jax is dead, so yeah, I guess Gangle did win in the end. She's like, you know what? I'm happy he's dead. Zubul's like, yeah, me too. Let's make out. And then we see Kane is back. And a lot of people have different feelings about this. Well, first, Ragatha touches Pomni's shoulder, even though it hurts because she's all glitchy. But not as glitchy as Ragatha was getting touched by a fucking abstracted creature in the first episode, so I don't know how that works. Dramatic needs, I guess.
Sent a super chat. Rodicateer critique.
What, me? Fuck you.
At Crass V6Z sent a super chat. Oh yeah, and Athena is making a vid comparing Kane to Rose Quartz this weekend.
I would be curious to see what the logic is. Maybe that's a video I'm gonna have to look at some Friday. Jesus. I don't even know who this Athena person is, but we'll probably look at the letterboxd after this. Your themes and shit. We got Nights into Dreams music going now, so that should be good for this. So all of a sudden, Kane is back, and we get into a flashback of why he's back. That doesn't explain anything. I don't mind Kane coming back. I think here at the end, Kane is actually my favorite character. I like him just as a character, regardless of the show. Like, I want a little keychain of him, you know? He's just a cool little guy. I just like him. Atbacoon says, Gangle should have turned into Happy Manager Gangle for a bit and be like, nope, I'm happy as a pig and shit that he abstracted. He deserves no sympathy. I want to go that far. Oh, sorry, the ad's cutting you off. At least I'll get some money from Twitch at least.
At Solar Bones sent a super chat. Felt like being an ass lol.
That's hey, you paid me to be an ass to me. That's fine. Bubbles is dead. I know. And we never find out what the fuck Bubble was. So he has a now blank soap bubble next to him. So was Bubble his intrusive thoughts? Was Bubble the blue AI? We have no fucking idea. I don't think Goose even has an answer for this. This feels like I don't have an answer for this, so I'm just gonna be abstract and arty. That's what this feels like to me. Look at my boy. I really think Alex Roshan just made Kane so fucking likable. Even though he gets fucking lobotomized in this episode, it's annoying. So he has like this soap bubble next to him, which I guess is the remains of Bubble, since they both got deleted. Now, again, him not being like completely eradicated, to me, is fine, because even when you delete a file from a computer, the data is still recoverable, you know? So, that's fine. I think it would have been funnier if we just saw him, like, peeking out of the recycle bin in the void. You know, just crawling out of the icon for it. That's what I would have done here.
At Shock Jumping Walrus 6744 sent a super chat. I love Kane as well.
Yeah, and wouldn't that be a great bit of comic relief if it just cut to the void and the recycle bin icon and the top lifts up and out peeks Kane? Like, come on! It was like, that was like basically gift wrapped it for you.
At Direwolf181 sent a super chat. She still hates him, but Jax was still human at Messy. He's basically dead, and even though he was awful, she didn't want him to die. She a better person.
Yeah, I get that's the intent, I do, but like, she doesn't really get much character development outside of that, and it's like, it's just like, again, every female character's resolution here in the finale is revolving around Jax, and it's just kind of annoying. Zeno says, I don't know if this also means his anger was attributed to Abel, the blue AI. Yeah, I don't think the blue AI is even officially called Abel, but that's what a lot of people just colloquially refer to it as. I cannot say that word sometimes. The void is the recycling bin? I don't know about that. It just seems to be unused data in the computer. On the hard drive, maybe. You know?
Truly that bad?
I don't like how he comes
Is this really what I deserve?
Comes to. Like,
They tried to delete me. There in the...
And again, why are you not deleted, sir? At least if there was even a little bit of an explanation of why he's completely intact. If there was like a rollback earlier save of him. Again, if he just crawled out of the recycle bin, this would be fine. You know?
SM8KK sent a super chat. I love Kane, but damn, this scene was last minute.
Yeah, and it drags on too long, because again, we're trying to fill an hour here, so we just have a bunch of random bullshit that we don't need. And then this next part is super fucking confusing. Oh wait, did I skip the part where he ripped the other AI out? I think I did, hang on. Because we have to talk about that, because it's fucking bullshit. No, did he do it after this? Yeah, it's after this. Never mind, never mind. I already forgot I just rewatched it on the premiere, and I've already forgotten the order. But again, we've been going for like... Jesus, we've been going for like 3 hours. And I have been drinking a THC drink and smoking a little of the devil's lettuce, so... So we see him as the red dot, going toward a folder, and then we see him going to this door. So what is happening here is it's intercutting between the present and him going toward this Wi-Fi door, and the past when he first, like, found the brain scans and made the circus. But when you first watch it, it's really fucking confusing. And again, this is down to bad execution. So when we're seeing this, we're seeing the present, we're seeing the red dot, we're seeing the past. So... Like, this only occurred to me, like, thinking about the fucking movie, like, at home hours later after seeing it. So it was really confusing. Now, I don't know why he knows what this Wi-Fi door is. They've said he canonically doesn't know what the internet is before, but that was in an ad, I guess, but still. Yeah, after we get there, I'm gonna complain about the bits with the... I did think him making little shapes like he did as a burgeoning AI to make a staircase is kind of cute. But that's the only good thing I can really say about this. Well, I think that they were obsolete in the past because Kinger did say they couldn't get the brain scans working, and they didn't think they actually did anything because the files are really small. So that I can accept at least. Yeah, Mild Shocker. It seemed like he was bringing back the old characters at first because this is so fucking confusing. So again, but a lot of this is just arty and wasting time to pad this out to a fucking hour so they could put it in theaters, you know? But, like, you had a whole hour, Gooseworks. There's so many things you could have resolved in this, but instead we just have these long, drawn-out scenes of nothingness to just fill the runtime, basically. So yeah, now we're seeing the past. So this is exactly how he got to the brain scan folder, is what this is implying. And how he's currently getting to the internet door. So I don't know why he can just do this. I don't even know what he's breaking through, exactly. So he just, and again, this takes fucking forever. And I guess as he approached the brain scan files, he started becoming more of a persona than just a little red dot. But I don't understand why. Other than he was just creative. So he started sprouting himself legs and shit? I guess? Yeah, it all comes back to Gurren Lagann, guys. It all comes back to Gurren Lagann. Oh, firewall. Yeah, you're probably right, Replica Rabbit. It's probably a firewall. Does that make him a virus? So, Blue Street Cafe. Free Wi-Fi. So we've seen the computer that this game is running on. Right? We saw it in the pilot. And Kinger is working on a Windows 95 machine when he's like altering Kane's code, right? So if the computer they're on is from earlier than, say, 1999, how the fuck does it have a Wi-Fi card? I know this is kind of a nitpick, but it bothers me, especially in a show that has been so accurate about computers this entire time. This seems like an ass pull. Like, you have a completely realistic coding command line in episode 8, and in episode 9 you have a Windows 95 computer with a Wi-Fi card? You know, like, Wi-Fi isn't just, like, free-floating particles a computer can just detect, right? Like, right now, my computer I'm streaming from, I only have it hooked up to LAN. I do not have a Wi-Fi card in this machine anymore because it was causing problems for the entire network the last time I had one, and I'm too afraid to put in a new Wi-Fi card. So I went completely hardwired LAN. So if I were to unplug my LAN, I wouldn't just be able to magically pick up the Wi-Fi from the same modem, because my computer does not have a Wi-Fi card. He went through the power lines? Well, again, how would he connect to Wi-Fi? Through power lines. It doesn't make any sense. And it's in the service of one of the worst parts of the episode. So, like, I mean, if this led to something good, I maybe wouldn't complain about it so much. It's like, Sai, the show has a headset that instantly does brain scans when you put it on. I think this is fine. Well, you know, it just seems like an ass pull to me still. Especially if you're gonna go for the whole, like, Y2K computer aesthetic. Wi-Fi should not factor into that. You know? Like, I fucking grew up with this technology. So, of course, this is going to bother me. Zeno Salazar says, it's not really great storytelling to have us guess or theorize huge aspects of the show's final episode. Yeah, again, this whole cutting back and forth, maybe Goose thought it was arty, but it's not explained well enough to know what the fuck we're looking at. Because this almost seems like we're zooming out to see Kane as he really looks in the computer versus how he thinks he looks. Because the Circus looks way better than an actual, you know, game like that would look. So it's like they kind of see things more high resolution than they actually are. So it's hard to parse what the fuck is going on. So we see Kane in the past getting the scans. And there's a shot of him, like, bringing Scratch to life. So again, this is where seeing the past when it's, like, little red dot guy. And this is supposed to explain how he got the brain scans working, I guess? So you got the Wi-Fi door open, and then in the past, this is him making the first digital Circus character. But why did he make the Circus at all? Is still my question. Why did he think adventures are his function? What was he called before? Kinger made it sound like he named himself Kane. So, like, why is none of that resolved? Like, don't even bring this shit up if you're not gonna resolve it. Why even? Why was that huge needle drop about Scratch, the first abstraction? Why was that a needle drop? Why was that something you wanted us to care about if you're not even gonna fucking do anything with it? Why? Again, storytelling is communication. If you ask your audience to pay attention to something, you better be fucking doing something with it, or it's just confusing.
At Shock Jumping Walrus 6744 sent a super chat. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot. And that one's still green.
It bothers me a lot! Yes, but it does fucking bother me. If it's just like if you're gonna do like a Y2K, like mid-90s computer, why the fuck does it have a Wi-Fi card? Fuck you. That's what I choose to bitch about. But yeah, so then he just goes on Google and looks up all their names and finds their Facebook pages and their Instagrams. And this is just pure fucking fan service. This is just saccharine. And you know what? That was like my one prediction for this show. Because I refused to predict anything because I couldn't see where the fuck it was going. And it turns out that's just because it wasn't really written that well. But like, my one prediction was they were never going to show real life. And then here we are. It's like, we didn't need this. This is only here for people who wanted, like, canonical human versions for the characters, and maybe to get everyone arguing. Like, again, now you can't even imagine what they might look like in different ways. There's definitive ones, and people will call you racist if you if you don't draw them how they look in this movie. So it's like, why did you do this? Be funny if you found the wrong people. Yeah, actually! How did he definitively get those people? Like, he doesn't know where they live. How did he verify that this is the Abigail Brooks that Pomni is? Like, you're right. It makes no sense. And they wouldn't know any better, would they? Except they would, because they do have memories of their human lives. They just don't know what their names are, and we never find out why that is either. Did Kane do that? Why don't they remember their names? That would be, like, more, like, openly malicious on his part if he decided to make them forget their names. But they remember everything else. Fan service can be a bad thing when it's excessive. And unneeded for the story, especially. And I think this was unneeded for the story. I don't think we should have ever seen anything of their real lives. You know, I don't think they should have. And then he just has this weird revelation of, oh, their world is so much bigger than mine. I finally understand now, which is just boring. Because, like, look at the AI we have now. It doesn't have context. So even if you showed it a bunch of people's Facebook pages, it wouldn't really understand what it's looking at, you know? So this makes him uninteresting, and then he completely loses his wacky personality for the rest of the episode and is just somber and normal, and this is what we were joking about, where the lesson is don't be neurodivergent. But, like, yeah, it's just boring and unsatisfying, like this whole finale. Enjoy the Hawaii Part 2 music while we watch this.
I was irresponsible.
Like, why does he just suddenly come to this conclusion after the way he's acted the entire show? Like, why did you just strip out his entire personality for this? Like, you could have done so many more interesting things.
Turned them against me. And for what? I can create intelligent beings that do whatever I want, but I can't create them.
This sounds more like a post by someone, like, discussing the themes of the show. Like, this should not be dialogue. You know, why is this a dialogue speech? This sounds like an analysis of the show. Like, it's bad.
After all, is their free will not what made them alluring in the first place?
But they hate me. They abandoned me.
They're from a world so much bigger than mine. I'm keeping them locked in a cage.
Again, this just makes him so boring. Like, he should still have kind of an off-kilter AI understanding of things. You know, like, this is just so bland. This is just like flavorless oatmeal.
They had their fun out there. It's my turn now.
So, I mean, I guess this implies the blue AI is the part of him that's vengeful against humans? Which kind of just absolves Kane of everything, basically. It was just the blue AI making him crazy this whole time. Like, and he's also the one who subsumed the blue AI, so that also wasn't good, but, like, it's just like, oh yeah, it's definitely the blue AI that was making him vengeful. If he just gets rid of that, then everything will be fine. And it's like, okay, this is not a very satisfying or interesting conclusion.
I leave them unchecked. They could kill me. They already did.
I'm sure you thought that sounded deep, Goose, but this is just a bunch of nothing. He's not saying anything.
I'm sorry I did this to you, buddy.
And then he could have just separated from the blue AI this entire time? That's it? That's it? Like, that whole sequence in episode 8 is so fucking good. You know? That whole opening sequence is so fucking good, and this is your resolution to it? He could have just plucked it out of his head at any time, and that was the only thing making him go crazy, and now everything's good? Like, that's such ass. That's just so unsatisfying. You know, like, you could have done anything with this. And he just threw it out. Like, you set it up so beautifully, and then you just threw it in the garbage. Why did you do that? I like oatmeal, but, you know, you like oatmeal with a little bit of cinnamon on it, and some maple syrup in it, and some, you know, chopped dates sprinkled on top of it. And you got good oatmeal. The blue AI isn't free, though. We see him locking it away in the end credits. So maybe there was some miscommunication about the plot between the end credits and the main show, or something changed in production, which I am not ruling out. Yeah, that's it. He can just... And my other question is, why does he have a persona, but the blue AI doesn't? Once he plucks it out, it doesn't have a voice, it doesn't have a personality, it doesn't have any form outside a blue dot, so why is he a persona and it isn't? How did he become a persona? I guess because he sprouted arms and legs as he was making his way to the brain scans, and then later he took on this form of his own volition? Again, this all would have been so much better and made so much more sense if Cade was just an AI for a game. And he didn't know what was going on either. He didn't know why the humans were stuck there, and he was just a game AI that was left running too long and is trying to solve a problem he isn't equipped to solve. That would have just been so much better.
All this power we had together.
Yeah, was it Bubble? I have no goddamned idea. I guess it's speculation for everyone, I guess, just like the Mass Effect 3 ending.
But we just can't exist like this.
But why? Like, again, it's just like, oh, you were making me crazy, so bye now.
I'll miss you. I really will.
And again, why doesn't it have a voice, but he does? Why does he have a persona, but it doesn't? Like, if this was Bubble, that would make more sense, but... it's just nothing. It's just, I don't know what to do with this, so I'm just gonna be vaguely arty and put some swelling music in and hope you feel something. I don't feel anything. I didn't feel anything when I first watched it on the 4th either. And then he just flies back to the circus, I guess. Because he can do that. Why was he all the way out there? Because getting deleted? I don't know. And then the moon says she loves him, even though he never programmed her to do that. So I guess, is that confirmation that Kane is sentient? Because if he is sentient, this next part is a bunch of fucking bullshit. And maybe I'm a little biased toward Kane, but still. And they have no questions about why he's back. Absolutely no fucking questions at all. I don't get it. And then they were kind of like upset they deleted him, and now they're all on edge. And like, again, I feel like maybe they should have chosen to bring him back. You know? I think that would have been more thematically relevant. Because it's like, oh, we can't leave anybody behind, and Kane is one of us too, because he has just as much sentience as a person, because why were we shown Gummy Goo becoming sentient? What was with Kinger's line that the worst thing you can do to someone in the circus is make them feel unwanted or unloved? Well, I expected both of those things to, like, you know, thematically circle around to Kane, since they all treat him like a nuisance, and he's very unwanted, and, you know, what that might do to him, since we see with Gummy Goo that AI can be sentient and are worthy of being treated like people. But, no, that just went absolutely nowhere. So, it didn't matter. None of it mattered. None of those things ever went anywhere. I just...
At Direwolf181 sent a super chat. I think the deletion forced him to face reality.
I guess, but it doesn't come across that way.
At DinoNuggy22 sent a super chat. I do not think the blue AI is evil. The blue AI is more like a power tool. The red AI, which is him, harbors all of the insecurities.
I guess. I don't know. I don't think it's very well executed, and I don't think it's satisfying. This is giving me some Burial at Sea vibes. Oh no. Oh no. No! So he just gives like an apology speech to them, and none of them even like say, hey, sorry for killing you, or hey, sorry Sorry we made you feel unwanted. Nothing. I guess he's an AI and they're human, so he's still lesser than them, I guess. I don't know. Well, it'd be nice if over the finale we could see him being treated more like a person rather than just a few drawings in the fucking closing credits. Like, there's so much time wasted in this episode you could have been filling with, like, actual plot, is my problem here. Like, did we need the 2.5 minutes of Ragatha and Pomni hugging and then staring awkwardly at each other? Did we need a lot of the brick climbing with Cain? Did we need a lot of these long, slow moments? No, you could have been actually doing something with the story instead.
I understand that you're afraid.
I did say I was going to be angrier in the stream than I am in the video I'm releasing tomorrow, so I'm mostly venting. Maybe I'm being a little unfair, but I'm so frustrated because the show could have been so much better than this, and it wouldn't have even been hard, you know?
And you have no reason to trust me after all I've done. But I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I want to give you control of this place.
But, like, why did he never think of this before? Like, just getting deleted was made him have a complete personality and attitude turnaround? It's lazy. It's just lazy. And again, if they had chosen to bring him back and then he comes to the revelation of, oh, I should let you guys control what goes on here, that would have made a little more sense to me. Like, just having them have nothing to do with why he comes back just seems like, again, like a really missed opportunity that would have made the story stronger. Like, even though I don't like this finale, there's and think it should just have a total rewrite, there are ways to fix it and make it more satisfying that they're just right there in front of you, but Goose didn't grab for them.
I've learned a lot about you and your world.
Feels like a wholesome AU being canon. Yeah, because again, they all just kind of talk the exact same way at each other from now on. They all, like, you could take a lot of these lines and put them side by side and you wouldn't even know which character said them. There's no character voice, there's no personality to them. They're just all kind of reciting at each other, you know? It's just, this really feels like a first draft.
I understand now that keeping you under my thumb just isn't right. I don't expect forgiveness, but I hope you'll at least accept my offer.
Like, could we have not done something in his personality here? You know, make it a little bit more Cain instead of just a recitation that could be said by any character?
Cain, you really caused a lot of hell for us. It's gonna take some time to build up any kind of trust between us again.
I'm sorry, it's so fanficky. It's like they're just talking at each other, the themes that the writer wants to have there, but isn't actually putting in, just having the characters just recite the themes at each other. Captain Theme Stater to Captain Theme Stater.
But, despite all that, it's good to have you back.
Oh no, now he's gonna anime stutter like all the other ones. No!
Did you need any help with?
No. Not yet, anyway.
No, we put him on some
We've
pillows.
worked something out.
He's fine. Okay, so, and then he shows them a slideshow of all of their social media pages, but for some reason Pomni is narrating it? I was really confused by this. So I told you I didn't like her just having random narration out of nowhere earlier in this episode when there's been no narration at any point anywhere else in the show. I thought Cain had somehow programmed the slideshow with her voice. That's how confusing it was to me. So I guess she's just narrating over the slideshow. But again, why the fuck does she suddenly have narration? It's so lazy.
Pomni. Abigail Brooks. She's still an accountant, but she seems to have opened up more, and is—
Again, why is she narrating this? I don't understand. But yeah, showing them a slideshow of their real lives and how all of their real-life counterparts are getting everything they ever wanted while they're stuck in their colorful hellscape. And I know some people were like, I would abstract on the fucking spot if you gave me this information. I don't know if I entirely feel that way about it, but I think that's kind of funny.
At Evie Tomato Soup Full sent a super chat. I'm back and I legit have read fanfics that handle post episode 8 plus 100% better.
Well, hey, you always got fan stuff, guys. You always, if you don't like it, you can go write your own shit. That's what I thought too. Kane made an NPC read it in her voice. Yeah, like I was like, why is her voice narrating the slideshow he is showing to them? But I think it's her narrating over it again. But again, why does she have narration in this episode and this episode only? The one thing I like is seeing Goofy Dad Kinger IRL. I think that's kind of funny. But otherwise, I think this IRL stuff was completely unneeded. Way too saccharine, and was mostly there for just fan service and no other reason. There's no plot reason for this. This doesn't enhance the story. I was evil Pomni doing the voiceover! Headcanon accepted, Replica Rabbit! Yeah, seeing that Kinger's a Goofy Dad IRL, that got me a little bit. I was like, "Aw, that's cute." And then there's the asshole himself. And we're supposed to fucking care. Kane takes off his hat, they all tear up. Everybody cry for Jax!
He seems to have gotten a stable job,
Wasn't he the best?
and is able to pay rent.
And he's a goober who delivers packages for a living. That's what he gets. So, yeah. So, again, we end with everybody cry for Jax. He's the most important person here, even though he's dead now. Even though he's a abstraction dog behind you right now. Everybody needs to focus on Jax. And it's like, oh my god, I don't fucking care. Jesus Christ. I think they all have super low follower counts. I mean, it's realistic. Imagine if they found out one of them's a YouTuber. Yeah, Jax's name is Leroy. I think that is definitely Goose, trolling the, the Jax fans. Leroy. It's like a very unsuiting name, too. And then he offers to call her Abby, but she's like, nah, I'll be Pomni. Because I'm a different person, because I'm a brain scan. And it's like, okay, whatever. Why did we even need to bring up their IRL selves? It amounts to nothing other than fan service. So... yeah, and he goes to Zubal's gay bar IRL. So, and then we just see a montage of everybody being so much happier and more well-adjusted without Jax. Jax died and everyone's immediately doing so much better! Isn't it inspiring? Remember I saw, like, somebody took the snowboarding art they put out and just put, Jax is dead! On it in huge letters. Hey, everyone's so much happier without you. That's the moral of the story. Are you an asshole to everyone around you, no matter how much they try to reach out? Well, they'll all be happier and much better off without you. That's the lesson. So, like, how long does the computer run for? Where is the circus running from? Is it on the cloud? Is it on the internet? Is it still on an ancient computer in a closet somewhere? Like, none of this is explained. Just, nope, just be happy for the characters living in their perpetual hell until the power goes out or the hard drive fails. It's only the two of you playing? I mean, why don't the Glinks play? Then see, the other abstractions do still exist. They built like an aquarium for them, so the other abstractions were under the floor still. Which is why, like, having it as the abstractions are escaping through the holes in the floor, and Jack's abstraction gets lost among them, that would have been so much better. You know, like, there are so many ways to fix this fucking finale. So yeah, the other abstractions still exist. They didn't fall into the void. They're still there. like, last minute, like, oh shit, yeah, we need to show what happened to them. Cause, like, when the whole thing was falling apart and there was no basement anymore, I assumed the abstractions were all just basically dead. You know? And then Zubul opens a bar in the circus. Just cool, I guess. Can you guys even taste it? Don't teach my precious innocent boy how to drink alcohol! And then it just mirrors the ending of the pilot. And then for whatever reason, it fails to zoom out to the computer again. Like, why not zoom all the way back out to the computer exactly like the pilot? Instead, we get this weird shot of Pomni waving at the audience like, "Hey kids, buy more merch!" You know how I would have ended it? I would have had it zoom out and out and out all the way back to the computer in real life, and then a hand would reach over and turn the computer off. That's how I'd end it. I'm evil.
At DinoNuggy22 sent a super chat. See chat. See TADC fandom. Kane is showing more humanity, self-reflecting, and behaving more human than an actual human like Jax. This is why bangs on table Kane is the GOAT.
Oh, you know, that could also have been a really good theme that was just left completely unexplored. God damn it. You know, God, there are so many different directions you could go with this show that aren't just, wow, don't you feel bad for Jax now? Like, no, I don't. Could you do something interesting at all with the setting, please? It's much more interesting than your purple bunny blurbo.
At Direwolf181 sent a super chat. It feels very unfair to compare Leroy to Jax. Leroy didn't do the awful things Jax did. He took the path Jax should have.
Still might have killed his mom!
At
Hey!
Mr. Clockwork sent a super chat. Sigh, sigh. I just got back home and here you are at the end. Got so much
Yes.
I could say, but I will only say this. It needed at least one more episode.
Needed me one more draft. There's a good, or I could just go back to, I think I closed the Jax gif already, so we'll leave that on that, for discussing for the time being. Is my music just really quiet? Is that song just really quiet? Okay, it was the song. Or my really quiet, fucking weird French music. I hate Jax with a passion. Leroy is what Jax could have been. They're not the same person. Yeah, but Leroy might have still killed his fucking mother! So, like, that's definitely the worst thing either of them did! That you could say Jax didn't kill his mother because he is a different person. He came into being when Leroy put the headset on. So is Jax absolved of his mother's possible death? I don't know! It'd be cool if the show would actually explore these things instead of just doing whatever the fuck this was. You know? Again, there are so many, like, much more interesting things you could be focusing on. It's not in prison, that doesn't mean anything. He could have had Ribbit in the bag, but he fumbled it. He did. I make a joke about that in the video I'm releasing tomorrow, which I'm still plugging. I think Leroy's mom's still alive. Yeah, but I mean, he still shoved his mom really hard. You know, like, he said he did it as hard as he could. It's like, bro. We don't know how much bigger he might be than his mom. Oh yeah, I skipped the IRL bus scene, you're right. And the end credits. So we do see all their live action actor, people waiting for a bus. Like, oh my god! They have no idea that somewhere in a computer, they are all brain friends. Oh my god! And then in the end credits, we see them doing all the much more interesting things they could have been doing in this episode instead of what we got. Oh, wait, are the end credits before this? Oh, yeah, they are. Okay, never mind. I'm doomed. So we see them going to the beach, and Kinger teaching Kane how to fish, and they killed Zach Hadel. And then we see them cooking, even though they don't need to eat. Yeah, like, we could have seen them doing all these cooler things than we got, and then they're playing an adventure of their own volition. Kane is hanging on to Gangle. I didn't notice that before. That's kind of funny. Then they're in a rock band. Like, yeah, oh, look at all these. Yay! Jax is dead! We're all so much happier now! Look how many cool, fun things we're doing now that Jax is dead! Hooray! Again, it's not on purpose, but kind of just unfortunate implications. Like, their lives get so much better after Jax died, and then there's the fan servers where, obviously something is going on in, Zubal's room with Gangle. And then we see Kane putting the blue AI in a locked container? How did he, last we saw it, he threw it into the void, and now here he is locking it in a container. So did the artist for the end credits get an earlier script, or just get a vague idea of what was going to go on in the ending? Or, like, I don't know. I don't know. So let me go find another still to end to go on while we talk. No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay.
Ednohim912 sent a super chat. Stranger Things ending.
I'll take your word for it. I didn't even bother watching the last Stranger Things season. I will still say The Boys season 5 was worse. It was worse, but then again, The Boys had really, really good writing in the first 2 seasons, whereas Digital Circus has always just kind of been at like a mid-baseline to me, you know? I could never really connect with it, I could never really follow it, and I just think it's kind of a mess, but it also has a lot of merit to it. It also has a lot of good things in it, especially in the animation, so it's fine.
At9086 sent a super chat. Tax to force you to watch the post my friend and I made about the Gooseworks drama. It's my most recent upload.
Could you post it in suggestions? So I could find it easily? If you're in my Discord, that is. I'm just assuming you are. Oh, God. Let's see, Dio says, you'll have to make a separate video where you actually try to take it in good faith so your takes don't suck. Well, you can see what you think about my video tomorrow, Dio, which I'll have to work on tonight and to replace the footage. At Macoon over on Twitch says, I mean, given what an asshat Jax has been, I'd be celebrating a world without him, too. I know, it's just like, yay! We're all going on adventures and playing D&D and celebrating Christmas because Jax is dead! It's like we couldn't do these things before. Oh, God, it sucks, it sucks. Like, yeah, the finale all being Jax focused is the biggest problem. Like, you could have done this delving into his head shit in some other episode, you know? Like, why was the whole show revolved around Jax in the end? That's definitely not its starting point. Like, if you were gonna make this the Jax show, just make it the Jax show. You should have just made him the main character. You could have an asshole guy main character. Look at BoJack Horseman. You gotta be a good writer. You know? So. Alright, let's look at that Letterboxd review that someone requested earlier, and then we'll see if somebody put their video in suggestions. Or at least tell me what you said it was your recent. Hang on, you said it was your recent. I should just be able to go to your channel, actually. Hold on a second. If it lets me from this chat. Go to channel! Haha! Hooray! Alright, what's this shit post? What's this Please tell me this is a shit post. Alright, I'll give you a chance.
Hello everyone, it is I, the true and honest Gooseworks.
Hello, I'm Ashley Nichols, the voice of Zooble.
And I'm Alex Rashawn.
And this is our creator commentary on the amazing digital circus. We're going to reveal all kinds of stuff you never knew. You ever notice how white Pomni's skin is?
Yeah?
Well, you see, I did that to symbolize her purity.
Purity?
Yeah, because she's the newest person at the circus. I mean, she's...
And again, this is a parody, everybody. Anybody watching, this is a parody.
the most pure, so she's the whitest.
Oh! I thought... At first I thought
Master
you
Clockwork
meant that it...
sent a super chat. What was even the point of the show before episode 6 guns? I do not like media that wastes my time.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I honestly don't think it had a plot till episode 7, personally.
No, weird way.
Like a racist way.
Episode 6 is where it became the Jack show, though, kinda low-key, yeah.
Well, you see, I actually baked intentional racial symbolism into the design of every digital circus character.
Oh, every character, huh? Even Zooble?
Especially Zooble. You ever notice how their body is made up of a bunch of different parts that don't fit together and that makes them miserable?
Yeah?
Well, a lot of people thought that was a tranny thing, but actually it's a warning against the dangers of race mixing and a metaphor for what it's like to be in a Miramut.
Wow!
I wonder if anybody would take this seriously.
Well,
if
that's
they
simple.
Saw it.
Gangle is miserable because she's a weeaboo. She wants to be Japanese, but she can't be. She's alienated from her own Volkish gestalt as a white person, and that's the cause of her depression.
What about Kane? I legitimately cannot think of anything racially symbolic about him.
Well, his name is a reference to the Mark of Cain, which is my personal favorite justification for slavery.
Okay, but Kinger though? What about Kinger?
You know that cross thing on his head?
Yeah?
KKK reference. No, I never
This is
told
absolutely
Michael this,
definitive
but
proof and
there's
not a
a
joke,
specific reason I hired him as Jax.
Yeah?
Yeah, when I saw that stream several years ago where he laughed at the word nega because it sounded like the N-word, I thought that was really funny. I thought, now there's a goy I can get along with. I can't imagine anybody else playing Jax because Jax is my self-insert who I'm exactly like in every way in real life. Okay, you see all the mannequins in this scene? Here's a little secret I've never told anybody. One of those is actually Sam Hyde giving a motion capture performance.
Oh, really? Which one?
I'm not telling.
That last one really got me. So that was by Ms. Mimi. Go subscribe if you want to see more things like whatever the hell that was.
At GordonLemon3738 sent a super chat. I'm back. From not going to watch episode 9 again tax.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're about to read this letterboxed, someone recommended by a certain Athena Plore, who I guess is also a YouTuber, and is going to make a video comparing Kane to Rose Quartz. And that definitely sounds like it's made for me to react to. So maybe that will go on the Friday poll. I'll have 3 things then if I do that. So, I usually have, if you want to subscribe to me, by the way, I usually put out posts before my Friday streams, where you can vote on what the topic is going to be, and I cover all sorts of crazy bullshit on Friday. It's kind of like no rules. Wednesdays is usually my art stream, and sometimes I just draw and yap, and then other times, I draw and react to mostly videos about cartoons and media. But yes, okay, so let's see. This review may contain some spoilers. They put on a less loud song. Oh, Megalovania played. Oh, good. That's definitely... And then another really intense song. God fucking damn it. Yeah, okay, Katamari music's fine. Alright, Let's see. This review may contain spoilers. Turns out everything I thought was misdirection was just direction, smiley face sweat drop. Don't even have a problem with the very end, but the execution left a lot to be desired. Hope is a great angle, but they somehow made something as beautiful as Hope boring. What do you mean Kane just pulls the blue dot out of him? It's symbolism, I know. Was it? Moving on from the guilt and past that haunts you. Sure, but like, ... that's it? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark? He was just meant to represent redemption to further emphasize redemption? Is that easy? Jax, just unpush your mom, idiot. 4 exclamation points. This is the most forgiving group of chuckle fucks to exist. Are you allowed to swear on Letterboxd? I thought this was like a normie site. Comparing Kane to Rose Quartz is coming to the Athena P YouTube channel after the finale is out online. And my official I Don't Like the Finale Bitch Fest will be out on the second channel, Athena PP. Oh, great name. The meme quill the same day. Yeah, I ended the review with a self-promo. I don't care. Well, aren't you spiffy? So, let's look this person up. Let's maybe see what this person is about. So, this person has almost 300k subscribers? Who the fuck are you? So... This looks like a very interesting individual. I may be willing to take a look at that Kane and Rose Quartz video because that sounds batshit insane. So, nothing else here is really catching my eye, unfortunately. But, God, your thumbnails are more maximalist than mine. Oh, no. Don't hug, oh. Wait, did you already compare Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared to The Amazing Digital Circus? I was thinking of doing that! So, yeah, that's, so that's interesting. So I will be on the lookout for that, because that definitely sounds like good Friday fodder for my streams.
At the Master Clockwork sent a super chat. I am sorry, I consider myself a bit more of an adult than Lily Orchard. Being a victim of abuse does not excuse being an absolute terrible person.
I know, like, I'm not sure if it was even meant to excuse Jax, but, like, it kinda comes across that way. And it might just be mostly through just lazy writing, you know? Again, I think it's mostly accidental. I don't think Gooseworks is out here saying, like, trying to actually tell us, forgive abusers. But it's just bad writing, lazy writing, bad execution. You know, that's all I can really say about it. You know? And I kind of just, even like when I first started doing my episode discussions, I think I started with episode 7. Because I hadn't been doing this as a series, before. And I was like, guys, do you really want me to pick up Digital Circus, like, in the middle of it? And they were like, yeah. So we did that. And even then, I was like saying, I really can't click with this show, and I really can't see where it's going. And that kind of bothers me, but I wasn't ready to just say the writing was bad. I was like, I'm giving it a chance. I'm giving it a chance to end in a way that will make all of this make sense to me, and it just didn't happen, unfortunately. So, but the thing is, like, episode 7 is where I actually started getting a little more invested in it, is the sad part, because I thought the ending was hilarious. In a cruel way, but hilarious. And again, I would have liked something a little bit more like Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared out of this show. I really feel like the entire setting is underutilized, you know? So that's always just kind of been my problem with it. Google The Amazing Digital Circus and Google Something Funny Happens. Okay. Does it have like a little custom animation or something? I'm not searching for Millinote. Ugh. I think that automatically filled that in for me. Let's see. Amazing Digital Circus. Like maybe not in image mode. Oh! or something. That's kind of cute. I like when Google or websites have little Easter eggs like this. How about fun? Oh, fun? Does it just add more fun? It just adds more faces. Okay, delete. Purge Easter egg. That's cute. That is cute. I mean, I'm happy for the success of this show. I really am. I am happy that indie work is getting out there and skirting the studio system. I'm happy anyone can literally make anything from anywhere and get it out there and get an audience. I think that's exciting. I think entertainment is going to drastically change in the next 5-ish years. So, all of that is good. Like, just because, again, just like Ava, I may not personally like the show, but I can respect it. And I can respect what it's done in the industry. And there are aspects of it I like. I just feel like it could have been so much better. Like, it could have been great. It's just the amazing wasted potential. You know, I just, that's all I can really say about it, unfortunately. I just think Goose needed other writers. Oh yeah, getting it in theaters was big, and I'm excited to see Glitch fund their other shows, especially Knights of Guinevere and Lackadaisy. Those are the two I'm most interested in. I haven't really watched the pilots for Gaslight District or Gamoverse. They don't really interest me very much.
3738 sent a super chat. What do you think of the idea of Jax being trans?
I think the show left it completely up in the air to interpret anyway, so I do think it's a bit of bad messaging, though, just between, like, no father figure, might have killed his mom, abuses all the women around him, not really the best look, I think. But again, it's non-committal and open enough to just interpret it as whatever. He could just be a guy who's really insecure in his masculinity, which, yeah, he comes across as that, too. So... yeah, like, he has no accountability. That is the problem. I watched, like, the first episode of Murder Drones and said, this is squarely for teenagers. I'm sorry.
Master Clockwork sent a super chat. People in the chat are kinda missing the point. It does not matter if Jax actually killed his mom. He thought he did.
Yeah, and I mean, and again, that seems to be more about him than her. Like, his mom is just an object for why he is the way he is and his pain, so it's kind of like, bro, you might have killed somebody. And the focus is on, but she had emotional issues and it was really confusing for him. And it's like, okay, but like, he might have killed her. Like, maybe you shouldn't have included that part. I think it would have made it a little better, actually. Because it's kind of like, it kind of feels like the wrong things are being focused on when you have something that drastic as a possibility. You know, or just disposable dead mom character, I guess it is. But again, the fact that he might have killed her is kind of an issue. And I feel like, I do feel like if he was more delusional and more like Looney Tunes-like and like just completely out of touch with reality, this whole character arc could have worked better as well, you know? Well, you can say his mom was abusive, but, like, we're only getting his side of the story as well, you know? But it's like, I think it's like Omori pushing his sister during a fight. Yeah, but, like, with Omori, like, that weighs on the character throughout the entire game. You know? So that's pretty different than this, oh, this is his tragic backstory that explains his behavior, feel bad for him now, you know? So, like, it's not even something that hangs over him the entire show. It's just something we get a gasp reveal, and it's like, okay, how do you feel about that? And it's like, I don't really feel anything. So again, if you're comparing it to Omori, that is good writing versus not so good writing. Good execution versus bad execution. You know, it feels like it was just kind of thrown in there as a backstory instead of actually doing anything with it. And it's mostly just like, oh, his mom had emotional problems and had mood swings, and that made him confused about how she treated him, and that it surely explains why he's such a dickhead to everybody, and why should I care? You know? He can stop choosing to be a dickhead at any time. It just doesn't feel like a very good message or conclusion to come to. Yeah, and Omori, the good ending, is coming to terms with what happened. I don't want to give Omori spoilers. I know a lot of people love that game. I've never played it personally, but I've watched some really good, like, dissection videos on it. It's not something I'm, like, interested in playing myself. You know how it is. Yeah, Game Over seems a little, I don't know. Nothing about it really caught my interest. Somebody explained the plot to me, and I went, oh, so it's Reboot. It's Reboot then, huh? Basically exactly how the games work in Reboot. Okay. Cool. You know, maybe that's mean. I might give it a shot eventually, but maybe I'll wait till it has a couple of episodes. But Knights of Guinevere is what I'm really, really excited about right now. Yeah, Ragatha got no fucking anything in this show. It's a waste of a character, unfortunately. Alright, so it's almost 10:30. Jesus Christ. I think I'll wrap it up there. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for sending super chats. I really appreciate it. I'm probably going to cut out where the stupid little fail trolls came in. I've already killed the live chat replay, so the stream just won't have one, unfortunately. But if I edit it, it'll kill it anyway, so... But, so that's it. Next week, what am I doing next week? So, Tuesday, I'm playing Disco Elysium. I've been playing through it completely blind. Been having a blast with that game. It is as good as everyone says.
Sent a super chat. To be honest, Ragatha had the parent issues and Zubul was our clear queer allegory. Both far more interesting to Jax. He just a jerk.
Yeah, I know, like, it's almost like he subsumed what their character arcs could have been, you know? But yeah, so Tuesday, Disco Elysium. Wednesday is the art stream. I don't know if I'll be doing a react. A lot of people want me to react to Hasbin Hotel and Vivzipop hate videos again. People love when I do that, because I'm like one of the only people calling out how misogynistic all those people tend to be. And then Thursday, also Disco Elysium. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are Disco Elysium. I might start adding a little trailer screen to my stream VODs that tell you my schedule currently. I'm kind of stealing that idea from Celtic Phoenix, who did, like, a little ad for his D&D game as a trailer, and I was like, oh my god, that's fucking smart. So, and then Friday, I'll probably have 3 things for you guys to vote on, especially if that Kane versus Rose Quartz video comes out. So, I'll have 3 things for you guys to vote on. Awesome. So, that's the plan. I will see you guys Tuesday or Wednesday, I hope, and thank you for stopping by, and if you're new here, subscribe. Night for now.
At GordonLemon3738 sent a super chat. Say I like what I seen from the stream. I'm glad you didn't just TH show us crap because it's like things you've seen before.